What's good? What's good, y'all? 2026. Y'all know what time it is, bro. Big 2026. Hey, I got a feeling, I ain't gonna lie, I got a feeling in hip hop this year is gonna be better than last year. I'm going out on a limb and saying hip hop this year, 2026, is gonna be better than last year. And I think last year was fire. What's good, Regal? What's good, Intertone? What's good? But 2025 was crazy in itself. We got a lot of crazy projects, underground, mainstream. We got a lot of good projects. I think especially the underground went crazy too. You know what I'm saying? I think Mike went crazy. Earl went crazy. Mavi had a joint. Who else? We had a few. Yeah, Bodie James. We had a few. Yeah, we had underground went crazy. Yeah, Happy New Year to y'all too, man. Shout out Fatima, Josh, shout out Joshua Covington. I Got Fame was good. Brian Dunny was the word. Tiffy was good. The Heartbreak Kid was good. I need everybody in hip hop media to leave the Drake Head for 2020. We got to get back to the music. I ain't gonna lie, Easy McConey. If I see anything involving botting, if I see anything, I'm applying pressure. I'm sorry, brother. But outside of that, we good. You won't have to worry about no videos, shit like that. But on the live, nah. You can't, cause look, you can't be saying, I'm sorry, Easy. You can't be pushing this narrative, right? Because y'all seen they just upped the narrative. They upped the narrative. You know what? We're gonna talk about that. Hold on. They upped the narrative on Doechii with the bots just for that to come out. You feel what I'm saying? We gotta talk about that. We have to. You can't be upping the propaganda and then the lawsuit come out and you was buying and then we don't talk about it. Nah, man. We got a lot to talk about today, though. First and foremost, let's get into this. Doechii really made these dudes mad. First and foremost, because I'm seeing it's like clearly. Hold on, let me bring it up. That Steak has been helping with the botting. I haven't even read. I was about to read it with y'all. Yeah, I'm about to read it with y'all. But look, check this out, man. Adin Ross and these dudes is wilding right now. Hold on. Look at this. You know what? Nah, we're going to go to this snippet first. I kind of want to talk about this first, actually. Let's talk about this snippet first. Because this shit sounds fire. I'm not going to lie. This sounds fire. Hold on. Check this. Some of y'all ain't heard the snippet. I'm going to play it multiple times for the people that get in here late. But let's just get into this right now. First of all, some people was convinced that Kendrick wasn't dropping no new music anytime soon. I think you tripping. You feel what I'm saying? I really genuinely think you tripping. Because ain't no way and that everything been going on and they've been building. TDE been building. PG Lane been building. And you telling me they're not going to take this opportunity? The whole world watching? And you telling me nobody going to take this opportunity? Cut it out, man. They might all drop. Check this out. Let me turn this up.
Like what? Like after like
Kind of like that idea.
like a real drop comes on top, like all those films.
First of all, that's Jack Antonoff. He worked on GNX. You know what I'm saying? Soundwave. So it's getting real.
Like what? Like how? Just like
Kind of like that.
and like a real drop comes on top, like all the film.
I was only 16, whistling hymns of a vixen drifting back and forth.
Something like that.
Sooner.
Hold on, man. Hold on, bro. Don't tell me. He said, who is this? He said, who said this new music? No, it don't say new music. It say new snippet. This snippet hasn't been heard before, so therefore it's a new snippet. But yo, this is giving. Hold on,
Like
man.
a real drop comes on top, like all the film.
I was only 16, whistling hymns of a vixen drifting back and forth.
Something like that.
Sooner.
And you know what's interesting? Yes, exactly. Kendrick been on his theme of like, oh yeah, I forgot. I learned how to show the comments on the stage. But Kendrick definitely been on this theme of like really taking it back. Like even with Squabble Up. And I feel like if you've noticed, a lot of the industry has been following suit. I think even Nokia was like a wannabe Squabble Up. So I think Kendrick might be, I don't know what the sound gonna be. And on top of that, you never know. This song might never see the light of day. That's the reality. But if you really think about it, Kendrick might be trying to take it back, like take this, not only the sounds, but the props, the features, all of that. I got a feeling that on this next project that Kendrick got, it might be restoring some of the, you know what I mean? Right. They've been jumping back into the 80s for sure. But I'm thinking like Kendrick might really be on that energy of just like, I could see old school features on there. You feel what I'm saying? I could see rappers who ain't been outside in years working with Kendrick on this. Or I could see, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick working with Anita Baker and you know what I mean? Just really getting in that type of bag with that type of album, just going back in time. And who else in the game is going to have like all of these respected artists popping up on that on the album? Who can have the Anita Bakers and, you know what I'm saying, who got that type of leverage and respect and credibility with their art form outside of, you know what I'm saying? It's Kendrick and a few other OGs. But outside of that, nah. She said Kendrick is an old soul. Yes, his sound has an 80s R&B. Yeah, like I feel like, yeah, even Doechii. I feel like that might be the agenda because think about it, bro. G and X, you got Reincarnated, right? Which is an ode to Pac. You got Man at the Garden, which is an ode to One Mic. You know what I'm saying? An ode to One Mic. What else? The SWV sample on there in the Heart Part 6. Whacked Out Murals really give me like Bomb First type, you know, Against All Odds type energy. It's a lot of even Dodger Blue. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, Dodger Blue. Exactly. Even Dodger Blue, like it seemed like there's a certain level of let's get back to the roots energy in a lot of this stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So hearing this isn't surprising. Now, what I wonder is this a new song? Will this be on the next project, or is this one of the songs that didn't make the original G and X? You feel what I'm saying? And then even with the way Kendrick is rapping on there, it's a lot more. G and X, I think Kendrick was a lot more loose. Do y'all feel that way? Oh yeah, Luther too. How could I forget about Luther? But G and X is a lot more loose as far as Kendrick's technical ability. Or am I tripping? You feel what I'm saying? Kendrick, I think, let's really break this down, okay? Because I think that initially, when you talk about Kendrick's style is usually very tight, like tight-knitted rhyme schemes, tight-knitted flow patterns. Really just like everything is really tight. And you could tell he's taking the technical aspect very seriously. You feel what I'm saying? That's like Kendrick's style when he's writing, typically. Exactly, yep. G and X feel like it was more like, I mean, he said it in Wiped Out Murals. This is not for lyricists. I swear that's not the sentiment. Fuck a double entendre. I want y'all to feel it. You feel what I'm saying? So it really is like G and X definitely felt more loose and felt like he was just trying to get the point across. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, lyrically, right. So I think that his flows were a lot more loose. He focused less on like intermediate rhyme schemes and certain patterns and all that, and he really just focused on the energy, the aggression, and aggression in his own way, right? Because Hey Now is aggressive to me. You feel what I'm saying? He is whispering on the beat damn near, but it's like, it's that West Coast aggression. Like, it's like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's really like AZ. You know what I'm saying? Like AZ Chike or like Almighty Suspect. No, Almighty Suspect got way more energy. But like that type of like, you feel what I'm saying? That type of bounce, that type of, I think he just paid a lot of nodes to the California sound in general when it come to hip hop. Even with like TV Off got like a certain type of bounce to it, like a Bay Area type of bounce. Like, you feel what I'm saying? As far as my understanding of the music. But yeah, I really think that he's really focused on just getting back into on G and X. Just getting back to the core. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the next album is. If on the next project, he getting back to the technicality. Because really think about it. Listen to this.
Okay. Like what? Like after, like
Kind of like that idea.
and like a real drop comes on top, like all the film.
I was only 16, whistling hymns of a big scene, drifting.
There's no pot, like there's no like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he never rapped like that on GNX, but I was only 16. Like think about how many times he's getting into that pocket before he gets to the next bar.
I was only 16, whistling hymns
16 whistling.
of a big scene, drifting back and forth.
Something like that.
That's about 6 rhymes. That's about 6 rhymes, multi-syllables on different rhymes on those rhymes too. And that's all within like 2 bars. So going into the next project, Kendrick might really be on some like, nah, now we about to rap. We about to rap. Because that really sound like he getting back into the science, so to say. You feel what I'm saying? But I seen somebody earlier ask if I had did my own breakdown of Girl Get Up. And honestly, we can just do that right now. Let's just do it right now. And we'll lean. I was already going to talk about Doechii anyway, so we can really look into the lyrics, break it down, and then go into the response, how everything's been going on. He gonna have the East Coast niggas finally respecting him. I'm not gonna lie, they should have been respecting him. But you know how, come on, man. Y'all, you know what it is. We gotta be honest about that one of these days. We know exactly what it is, man. But look, let's get into these raps. So, hey, yeah, Doechii and SZA together is amazing. New Drake lawsuit. Yeah, we're gonna get into that too, because that all ties in to this Doechii thing. You know what I'm saying? That all ties into it. But let's get to these bars, man. Let's get to these bars. Because he said, nah, they want ABC flow pockets. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I know you saying that in a way where if somebody else said it, I might have took it differently. But I know exactly what you mean, McConaughey. I know exactly what you mean when you say they want the ABC flow pockets. It's not ABC to everybody, but it is ABC if you really know the art of the swing, like the authenticity in people's swing and the way they rap and all of that. It's like, I do think from my perspective, the New York and the East, and typically they really want to see like blueprint pockets. You feel what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not mad at people saying they want blueprint pockets, but that's what the East Coast and New York really be saying. They don't like there's an authentic swing to the way West Coast artists typically rap. Why the hell is my alarm keep going off? But like, you know what I'm saying? There's an authentic swing to it usually, and your ears could be adjusted to a certain type of sound. So when you hear a different, it's like, that's not clicking for me. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, Kendrick was still rapping, and that's the thing about Kendrick is that he said it wasn't for lyricists, but then is on there wilding. like, you feel what I'm saying? Oh man. Hey, shout out Leonardo Thomas for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. He said, "Where Joey at?" Hey, man. Let Joey live, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Oh yeah, y'all, drop a like. You feel what I'm saying? Drop a like on the live. It take a couple seconds. Drop a like for your boy. Let's get to 100 likes real quick. But ultimately, what I'm saying is that Joey, I was definitely disappointed in what Joey brought to the table when it came to the album. But I think it might have been because of the battle prior and how he was talking leading up to the battle. It felt like Joey was about to drop a crazy, you know what I'm saying, a crazy album that was more focused. I just wasn't, I didn't want to hear commercial Joey. That's just me. I didn't want to hear commercial Joey. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't want to hear, songs that was going to be played on the radio, the whole album and all that. I didn't want to hear that. And that's just what I wanted to hear. That don't mean anybody else had to want to hear. I just wanted to hear raps. I wanted to hear lyricism. I wanted to hear 1999. I wanted to hear, and I'm not even saying you got to rap over doom beats and all that, but can we get bars? Can we get raps? I'm tired of Joey, and I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, because sometimes I hear some songs. Hey, shout out to y'all for the 100 likes. Hey, that's real. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all the realest. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Let's get to 150. But ultimately what I'm saying is I just wanted to hear raps. And I think a lot of people caught what was supposed to go down in 2025. A lot of people knew what was supposed to go down in 2025. And that was raps. You want to hear bars and all that. You feel me? So that's really my perspective. But shout out to Leonardo Thomas. Where Joey at is crazy. Y'all talking about Joey Watch the West. Look, I'm going to say this and then we're going to get to these bars. Y'all got to stop lying about that battle. Stop lying about that battle, bro. Look, I think people are buying into the antics of the battle and buying into, Lux was on the track and all that stuff. But if we talking just the raps, the finals was tough. He was talking crazy. The town with Lux. Lux did his thing, but Lux didn't even go super crazy. And I love Lux. Lux is one of those. And then you get to come on, man. What was it? What was y'all trying to say was the new Not Like Us? Y'all pissed me off. Y'all pissed me off, bro. What was the song? The song people was swearing was Not Like Us Part 2. What was the song? Was it Crash Dummy? Was it called that? Was it called Crash Dummy? Crash Dummy by Joey, right? My memory is kind of. That's why, hey, 2026. I'm off the weed, man. I'm off the weed for a while. I mean, I never was. I mean, I had pockets. I never been a huge smoker. I didn't really even start smoking until I was like what, 22, 23. But I have my pockets where last year I was smoking for like, man, just too much. Like every other day, every day for like a month straight, something like that. Just no, I can't do it. 2026, no weed. You feel what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna go all the way to March, and if I feel the way after March, I'm gonna just take it the whole year. But yeah, no Matty, no Matty, all 2026. If I can do it, but what's it called? Long story short, Joey didn't go that crazy, bro. Let's just be honest. I think the finals was dope, but really, I really think GoldenEye is the diss of all disses when it comes to Joey versus Ray Vaughn. And then Daylight was rapping his ass off, but people wasn't able to hear him. So it's like Daylight was going crazy for real. I think Daylight rapped better than everybody. You feel me? Like, I think Daylight rapped better than everybody in that situation. But I think Ray Vaughn had the best diss track. GoldenEye, right. But GoldenEye was like the best diss track for real. That's what I'm saying. Just the angles and all of that. But people was like, oh, he talk about this angle too much. Cut it out, man. Cut it out, bro. It's never about the angle. It's about saying the same thing the last person said in the angle. Like, come on, man. We got to be real. GoldenEye was fire, bro. Hey, Leonardo Thomas, you one of the realest, bro. I really appreciate you, dog. He said, you asked me, rappers need their own Kekai, Genkai. Hey, my boy tapped in. Of their catalog like Drake's Timestamps and Kendrick's Hearts. I agree. I think am I tripping or that's what Doechii's last track felt like? He said, and Lux crushed Joey on my town, and Crash Dummy was a tofu, hit him up. No, for real. I think Crash Dummy was very gimmicky. I think Crash Dummy was a very gimmicky diss. And I think that's what really kind of turned me off to it. And it just wasn't crazy, bro. It wasn't crazy, bro. Niggas was wild and acting like, damn, this was about to be, it was streamy. It was very gimmicky. But hey, bro, I really do appreciate you for the super chat. That's love, bro. Appreciate you, dog. Real one. But ultimately, yeah, I feel like it was gimmicky. We can get back to this in a second. I really do want to get to these Doechii bars. We gotta break down that Joey stuff a little more, bro, because I'm tired of the talk and the slander. You know what I'm saying? But talking about he washed the West. No bias, bro. I know I am. Like, look, I am West Coast bias, but I can turn it on and turn it off. I'm turning it off right now. Joey did not wash the West. It's that simple. I'm not gonna be so biased that I'm just like, oh, I'm just outlawing Reason. Like, that's just not, no. And breaking down the logic of the battles. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But Joey did not wash them. If you feel like Joey won, okay. I don't understand why you do feel that way, but okay. I think Joey's win was strictly based off the optics, but hey, that's just me. Right, and I think Mick Jenkins will wash a lot of niggas. Mick Jenkins is different. I still got to listen. It's so many albums that I have not played, bro, that I've been lacking on. The Mick Jenkins album, it's a lot of albums I've been playing on, bro. I'm gonna make sure I tap in this year. But I gotta listen to that Mick Jenkins album. It's a few other albums too. I don't know if y'all know who Merkham's is. He like a super underground artist, but he started to make a come up. He got a dope project out. I still got to listen to that Dime a Dozen. I still got to listen to it's a couple projects from the underground I still ain't heard Chris Patrick situation. All that. You just admitted to being biased. Hey, all right, look. before we get to this Doechii thing, I got one more thing to say. Why? Look, as content creators, why do you want me? This is a genuine question. Why you want me to be biased? Why you want me to pretend like I don't got favorites or I don't got people I prefer? I can't do it. Like, I can't do the fake neutral stuff. Like, I just can't. If I am neutral, then I am neutral. But if I'm West Coast first, like, if you come into my channel, you got to know that I am West Coast first. I love all hip hop though. But you know, for example, yes, everybody's biased. And that's my thing. Everybody be trying to act like they not. Like, bro, everyone is biased. Everybody's biased, bro. It's just some people are more fair in that bias. I can admit that I'm biased while also admitting I know when to turn it off and be fair. Hey, what's good? We are this. What's the word? We are Decipher. What's the word, man? But yeah, I can turn it off and be like, hey, I got West Coast bias, so yes, I'm going for this artist. But if that artist win, I'm not gonna lie. That's just not, nah. Even when Joey came out with the finals, I had Joey up at that point. I don't know if y'all remember, but if you was there, me and DeVille was breaking down all them tracks. I had Joey up at first, but then I felt like Rayvon caught up. You feel what I'm saying? With GoldenEye, and I feel like Rayvon caught up. So yeah. She said, I'm from the East and I'm West Coast first. You feel me? It's so much more, like, it's so much more to these conversations. Like, I feel like the West Coast, think about it like this. Everybody got two playlists. You got the playlist that you grew up in because of your people, and then you got the playlist that where you started to go seek your own music. I didn't start listening to a lot of East Coast stuff until my second playlist, until I went to go find my own music. You feel what I'm saying? Before that, it was all mostly West Coast, South, you know what I'm saying? The South, the Midwest, a lot of Scarface, a lot of, you know, Coolio and, you know what I'm saying? Like Bone Thugs and Harmony and stuff like that. It wasn't a lot of East Coast. You feel me? Sugar Free, the list go on. You feel what I'm saying? It was a lot of stuff like that. But I didn't start listening to the East Coast stuff until I started going out on my own. You feel me? And which was really great for me as far as becoming a better rapper myself. A lot of the East Coast stuff really picked up on my technicalities. But I'm always going to be West Coast first. I'm always going to be West Coast first. I think the West Coast make better music. That's just me. I think the West Coast make the best music. But that's just me. Yo, shout out Explicit Eli. Nixon 6 podcast was better. Yeah, Nixon 6 was fire. He was rapping. He was cooking. You feel what I'm saying? 100%. And I appreciate you for the super chat. But yeah, Kai Cash was even getting busy. Kai Cash was getting busy, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Real talk. He was rapping. I appreciate you. He said, people who think you have a bias is a gotcha, no critical thinking. Right. And I'm not saying that about bro that just said that. I'm not saying that because I think he was genuinely just being like, hey, bro, like, how you saying you biased when they're saying you fair? Reasonable question. But I do think that in order to recognize, you got to realize that we all bias. You got to realize that we all bias. We all bias. Now, all right, let's get to this Doechii. Okay. So first of all, this dropped out of nowhere. And it was super crazy because this dropped, you know what I'm saying, for my people that was there when I dropped the video, this song dropped literally like, I want to say 2 to 3 hours after I dropped the, what's it called? After I dropped that video talking about how Illuminati videos changed my perception on Jay-Z, right? And it's funny because the video is basically talking about how that could potentially, right? I said could potentially have been a psychological operation in order to have a check on influence on celebrities. And when you look at it from history standpoint, even when you look at like Rome, right? It's very similar how they handled their celebrities. You got to keep the celebrity influence in check. And I think that that was one of those things to create distrust between the community and the celebrity. And does that mean that everybody? No, I think it's people. Look, let's be real. It's people who don't got no money who be doing weird rituals and all that stuff. You feel me? It's not directly secluded to celebrities, right? It's just that some celebrities do that, just like some every regular day people do that, just like some it's a lot of different people. You feel me? He said, I'm a double back, gang. I'm about to do my Doechii reaction. Salute to the channel, bro. Keep staying by. It's the good music. Hey, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm gonna tap in too, bro. I'm gonna tap in. But yeah, like we gotta, you feel me? I have a bias, and we all do. You feel me? So I appreciate you, bro. Real talk. I'm gonna tap in with your live. But yeah, ultimately though, everybody everywhere does different things. And it's not, we can't generalize entire groups of people or entire organizations or whatever, or because it's more nuanced than that. And that was the video was about. So before I even break down all the bars, I'm going to get straight to that bar real quick. She said, blaming on the fame, because you got to think about it. They got all these narratives as to why Doechii is cooking. The bots, the industry plant, I think next is the Illuminati stuff, right? And not literally, because that has updated to Epstein files. It's no longer those type of videos. Now it's, are you associated with people who might have been associated with? That's the new thing that's going to be turned into the breaking down new artists or breaking down black artists, I believe. So it was ironic because she said, but she said, all the industry plants whack. I see it on the blogs. I see it on the chats. Every rap dick from the back. But what's the agenda when the it girl is black? She's saying that Adin, and I think this is for Adin Ross, because you got to think about it. All the different artists that be popping up on Adin Ross stream, all the different artists that be popping up on DJ Academic stream, and all of the just the different artists that frequent this stuff. You can apply the propaganda that they're using for those artists, for the artists that academics in them rock with. Because think about it. She said, I think she means Joe Budden. I think it could be Joe Budden too, but I really do think it's probably more aimed at Adin Ross and academics, but I do think it could be Joe Budden too. But ultimately, it's like, how don't y'all ever question? I mean, dog, you just had Young Thug come on stream. And these dudes was exposed for quite literally buying spots on the charts. And we talking about Doechii, though. You don't have no proof of what Doechii did, none of that. But the artists that you frequent are the ones that are botting. So that lets you know it's come on, man. Let's be real here. Let's be real. So, right, and Doechii been dropping music. You feel what I'm saying? So she said, y'all can't fathom. And then it's like, yeah, when it comes to a black girl, though, I think that plays a major role. But I think another major role is just the influence. I think it's the influence that Doechii has. I think that's really what it comes down to. You know what I mean? We could just blame it strictly on blackness. That plays a role, I believe. But I also think it's the influence. You feel what I'm saying? Doechii is dangerous. Kendrick is dangerous. You feel what I'm saying? She should leave Joe alone. If he come outside, it's a wrap. Now, bar for bar, Budden is a different look. Joe Budden is a monster. Joe Budden is a monster. We not gonna say Joe Budden is a monster. Okay, Joe Budden is a monster. However, Doechii is fire too, and she can angle. I think this year we're gonna find out that Doechii has the ability to angle, and she's just way more dynamic. And we don't know if Joe Budden still got it. You feel what I'm saying? I know rap is not like sports, so you can be 50 and still be nice, 60 and still be nice. I don't think rap should have an age for where we say, oh, you should stop dropping. If we get an album for somebody who's 60, that's probably gonna be the type of game that everybody need, which is probably why the ageism thing is out there anyway. They don't want no 50-year-old, 60-year-old rapper out here giving game to the youth. But Joe is different. I'm not even gonna get into could Joe. That is an interesting dynamic that we would have to break down entirely separately. We can like do that on some fun stuff like a fantasy match or something. But Joe Budden is a monster. I will say that. But I think this bar is for probably, it could be for Budden too, but I think it's mostly for academics and Adin Ross. So then she says, y'all can't fathom that I worked this hard, and y'all can't fathom that I earned this chart. Y'all can't stand my vibe because I'm anointed. All y'all evil assholes is just annoying. I think that's for Nikki and some other people. And that bar is crucial too, because that natural energy is just gleaming off of Doechii. And I think with that and her situation with TDE and the way TDE brands, the way that they push their artists, I don't know what they do behind the scenes as far as how they develop the artists and stuff like that. But you know, like for a fact that it's a lot of work that's being done on these artists. And I think that plays a role in the hate too, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think that plays a role too. So the anointed part is like, yeah, they can sense that this is different. This is different than what they're used to. They're accustomed to seeing. Doechii is a different type of individual. And that's scary for people, right? Then you go to blaming on the fame, blaming on the coke, blaming on the Doechii, got you feeling low. Y'all want to believe I'm on drugs and forsaken. They won't credit me, so they blame it on Satan. Blaming on my label, blaming on my team. End of the day, everything is on me. Like this feels like the battle war, like the war cry. This feels like, let's get it then. That's what it feels like. Like, and then you got to remember, Doechii had just said she finna be the bully. But let's break down that Satan bar. Let's be honest, y'all. I seen a video, or not a video, I seen a clip pretty much of a video on Twitter. And I seen a couple on TikTok too. Most of the time, the TikTok ones be on Doechii. But on Twitter, you can see that this industry plant, all of this different stuff, bought awards, all of that stuff is going to ramp up. And it's going to ramp up when the Grammys come around. And for all my people, if you've seen that video where I made the what's it called? Yeah, see, this is why I'm cutting weed off, bro, because it has fried my memory. Like my memory is fried. Like, but just little stuff like this. But what is it? It's damn. Yeah, I lost that thought. I lost that thought. I definitely lost that thought. But this is why we're making the decisions we making in 2026, because I can't do this. I can't be doing this. But as far as oh yeah, Satan. Blame it on Satan. So you can see that when we coming up to these Grammys, the Grammys is really gonna be where everything starts. This is just my theory. Okay. The Grammys is going to be where everything starts, where that's not the weed, that's social media. I smoke way more than you and I rarely forget anything. That could be true too. I also put a limit on my social media usage, for sure. Jalopy, you my big bro, but you got to stop binging Wynn's freestyles. Bro, y'all hate me. Y'all so mad at me for saying she can rap. I don't get it. But hey, everybody got their own thing. I think she can rap, though. I think she can rap for sure. But yeah, facts. Weed is different for everybody. I think in my experience, whenever I smoke weed consistently, that's when I start like, you feel me? My memories start chopping a little bit. I think memory in general is a thing for me, but I think with the weed on short-term stuff, you know, like just stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, and usually when I'm sober for extended periods of time, I don't have those problems. Speak a lot more clearly. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. He said, nah, I'm just trolling. Nah, you good regardless because it's a good conversation. But back to Doechii. So Doechii saying you can blame it on Satan is essentially saying like that's what is accustomed to how they target certain artists. And I think that it's deeper. It is a lot deeper, and we're not going to talk about that today. I definitely, right, we are using weed the wrong way. That's what I'm saying. The overconsumption. I think that's where I start messing up, is the overconsumption of it. But anyway, so I really do think that ultimately that's something that's a tag that's put on artists. And it's not to say that nobody is doing it. I'm not going to be ignorant enough to say that. And I'm not going to be ignorant enough to say everybody's doing it. That's really what it comes down to. I think that Jay-Z is somebody where this narrative is really stuck on hard. And when you ask a lot of people, they're going to say the same thing. Like people who don't even listen to hip hop, who not even have this perception of Jay-Z. And when I think back and I'm just like, this could be the attack. Like this could be the thing. And the fact that Doechii dropped this song just like a few hours after I dropped this video, it was like, okay. I think that even if, you know what I mean, it's just to respect the nuance of situations in a lot of times. And really, it's something that if they're, think about it. Let's just say hypothetically. Let's say hypothetically. It is hypothetically. Not to say it's to happen. Let's say there is going to be some sort of another battle or some sort of just propaganda going back and forth for the whole year between these two sides. And clearly there's a divide. If things get tricky and they start losing the way you know what I'm saying, we know they're going to start losing. What's stopping them from pushing this narrative of the success of TDE, et cetera, being tied to the worship of the devil and stuff like that? What's stopping them from doing that? Not much, especially because I think that the way that Christianity is being sold, right? I think this is worldwide sometimes. Like a lot of the teachings of it is what's being taught. A lot of it is like being used as a way to really control the like just the relationship between the government and the people and how we navigate that. You see what I'm saying? That's how I perceive it, because a lot of it is warped up within the way people believe in what the country is doing. You see what I'm saying? So from that perspective, it's being perverted into these type of things. And if there is this fight for influence in the culture, why wouldn't they use that to then label Doechii, the Kendricks, all of that, anybody that they deem as a political opponent, as a worshiper? That's just a hypothetical to put out there. What if that, you know what I'm saying? She said division has to be had between church and state. Right. I do think that it becomes dangerous when, you know, because then it's like with Israel. You could just talk about the, you know what I'm saying, the fact that you are the chosen or whatever and get away with anything. So my whole thing is, what's stopping them from doing this? especially when the success is coming, and you know the Grammys is going to be a wild night. Right, the woke establishment. That's what I'm saying. They already calling them woke. They already twisting the term, and they're using it to really set them up as political opponents. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I think it's important to talk about it too, to talk about it as well. Nicki Minaj sided with the pushing fake Christian. Right, they used it to go over there to Nigeria. They already attacking Nigeria behind the guise of we're trying to protect Nigerian Christians. So I when I start thinking about stuff like that, I'm like, damn, who's to say that that's not what is about to go on here? Now, let's start looking at the rest of the verses. Okay. She says, sipping my kombucha on a rooftop, which is, look, early. She already, I think kombucha in general is something that a lot of Gen Z is into in general. So I think, especially a lot of women. So I think that, in my experience at least, so I think opening up with that is really just like setting the tone. Because I think Doechii is going to be the one of the voices for Gen Z, right, in this next generation. So I think there's certain bars that she has that really expresses her character, really expresses who she is in these light ways. And sipping my kombucha on a rooftop feels like that. Smoking blue dream, my Karma Sutra, right? Life is but a dream for a dark skin like me. Life gets dark when you're dark like me. Times get hard with a heart this big. Mouths get fed when your ass this thick, right? So that whole section, this whole section is essentially framing the rest of the song. This is why I feel like when Doechii really about to come outside and get busy, I know it's going to be fire because she's setting up the narrative for this song early, right? She's taking the experiences of people who look like her, people who are like her, and connecting and saying, I see you, you see me, we have similar fight. And then goes on to rap about the things that on a more minor level, of course, not on a famous level, but on a personal level in everyday life that dark-skinned women deal with, that dark-skinned people in general feel with, and Black people in general, right? To set that narrative up, it just shows you her ability to paint a narrative in a song. And I think we got a lot of that in Alligator Bites Don't Heal, but I think in this next album, I think just off rip, you can see that she's improving with this in general. Then you get, she said, love Doechii, but she said, Doechii isn't Gen Z. She's a millennial. How? How is Doechii a millennial? Hold on. How is Doechii a millennial, bro? Doechii is 27, brother. Doechii is 27, brother. She's Gen Z. But back to this. So count my sheep, then I catch my Z's, which is I don't read y'all tweets, I delete y'all threads. And essentially, this is what she's saying. Through all the slander, all the different stuff, I'm sleeping through that. I count my sheep and I get my sleep. I'm not losing sleep over none of the stuff y'all doing. I don't read y'all threads. I delete I don't read y'all tweets. I delete y'all threads. Don't need weed to be 10 feet tall. I don't need keys when I knock down walls. Been pushing peace since bathroom stalls. That's nice. Why sell my soul when I know I'm God? Why sell my soul when I know I'm God? And essentially, this is just fighting off the narrative. Fighting off the narrative that in order for her to succeed, she got to do this, she got to do that, she got to do that. When in reality, this is her setting the tone for verse 2 and verse 3. She's letting you know This is my life. This is the life that I live, actually. And now that I've corrected you, right? Now that you understand why I'm getting this slander, now do you understand the position I'm in? Now do you understand who I relate to? Let's talk about the people who don't stand for that. And that's really the whole second verse. That's really the whole second verse, right? And we already broke down the second verse. Now, when we get to this third verse, listen, she was wilding on this third verse. They said, it's all right, bro. I mean, yeah, if you think it's all right, that's cool. I ain't mad at it. They said, that's light. Look, this is my thing. I'm not the person that thinks every verse needs to be punchline heavy or whatever. What's the goal of the verse? What are you trying to get across? If you get across that effectively, then that's skill. That's still skill. You feel what I'm saying? That's still skill in general. You feel me? So I think this verse is the narrative painter. The same way Kendrick's verse in Euphoria, the very first verse of Euphoria, he's not bombing or nothing, but he's making great points. He's setting the narrative for the rest of the song and really the rest of the battle. And that doesn't require crazy bars or nothing like that. It's just the ability to set the narrative. Now, the second verse, y'all can't say the second verse was light. The second verse was crazy, right? Now, let's get to the third verse. This is where we start having conversations, okay? They calling me the intellect amongst the pussy rap. I still be passing pussies than my sisters, so I can't agree with that. These niggas misogynistic. I'll address it on the album. For now, let's stick it to the fact that hate don't make you powerful. Y'all monitoring spirits. Go monitor that checkbook. Fashion Week was radical. Diamonds what my neck took. Now, let's break it down. This is talking. This is what you call talking, angling. And this is a battle rap. These are bars. This is VPB. This is value per bar. Every bar is either addressing something, getting a point across, or spinning a narrative and twisting it. So she's scoring, right? Essentially, in these first two bars, it's the same. It's the Kendrick effect. When Kendrick came into the game, a lot of it was Kendrick is conscious. Kendrick is gonna be, all this different stuff. People calling him the next Nas, which is putting him in a bag and essentially potentially limiting the full potential of what Kendrick can accomplish, right? Because you're basically saying, oh, he's a backpack rapper. I remember that whole era. They was trying to act like Kendrick was like a team, like a team backpack type of guy, right? When really, he really was never that type of guy. He was just able to rap with those type of guys. There's a difference. There's a difference between somebody who can get in the booth and get busy with all different types of rappers and somebody who is more diverse. Doechii is setting her standard in that same way. She's basically saying, y'all, but from the opposite perspective, y'all not about to say that because I'm lyrical, that because I'm this, that I'm entirely separate from these other artists. Now, I will say this. I don't fully agree with this perspective because I think it's okay to say Doechii is nicer than all of them. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not, and that's just my perspective. Now, what I think is that doesn't mean you gotta minimize what the other artists do. Now, I never really been big on Cardi B. I never really been big on a Cardi B. I really, in my perspective, Cardi B, the only reason I really was like, okay, I'm gonna give Cardi B the time of day for this album is because she came out barring the fuck up. If you're doing that, I'm gonna go listen to the album. That's what it used to be. Remember, before we used to really listen to anybody, you had to go see if the Sway freestyle was fire. You had to go see if the Tim Westwood was fire. You had to go see if it's a lot of different stuff. You had to go see if people was really getting busy before you bought into the album. That's just me though. Was that the same experience for all of y'all? For me and the homies, before we listened to the album, we was like, they got a freestyle on Sway? Do they got a freestyle on whatever? I had to know you can rap before I go listen to your album. It was all experimental and all the different stuff. So, from that perspective, she's basically just saying, you can't put me in that category just because I rap. But from my perspective, I think I'm still going to compare the artists. That's just me. I'm going to compare the artists. I'm going to have, when I think about Doechii's project, I'm going to think about other artists. And of course, the first artist I'm going to think about are her female counterparts. But I still think Doechii, in comparison to her male counterparts, is better than most of them niggas too. On a mainstream level. Of course, there's other rappers I think are nicer than Doechii. We talk about the complete package. Bro, Doechii is like right now, she's like a B+ in everything. At least. Maybe a B in everything and up, but nothing lower than a B. We talking A, I think she A, really, A to A+ performer. Who's a better performer in the game right now? Who's a better performer in the game right now than Doechii? In hip-hop. In hip-hop, who's a better performer than Doechii? I'm just asking. Nobody? I got Doechii over Tyler. Right, Beyonce, of course, but I wouldn't really count Beyonce because she's more like pop superstar type. Doja better than Doechii? No. Not a better performer, in my opinion. I'm not going to say it's clear, but not in my opinion. I disagree. Tyler, I don't think Tyler a better performer either, respectfully. But I'm honestly not mad at people saying, I'm not fully mad at people saying Tyler or Doechii, or Doja. But in reality, Doechii different, man. Doja getting Doechii out of here? As far as what? As far as what, brother? But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not going to say, I'm not the type of person to say, oh, Doechii is like, you know what I mean? When I say Doechii is better, I say Doechii is a better lyricist. I think Doechii, but I also think Doechii do the other shit better too. I think Doechii do and we're going to find that out soon. I think Doechii going to have better hits than them. I think Doechii going to do a lot of things better. Another artist, I got a lot of respect for Meg Thee Stallion as far as MCing goes. I think Meg Thee Stallion can actually rap. I was arguing with the homie about this yesterday. I think Meg Thee Stallion can actually rap. Decent performer. She got hits. Now, there are some artists I'm not big on. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not big on Cardi B. At all, really. I'm glad that she came out rapping to what's it called? She came out rapping Imaginary Players, but I'm not big on Cardi B, and I'm not gonna be a person that's just like, I was excited for the album simply because she rapping, and the climate that we was in is just, or that we're in, is literally just everybody rapping. So I was excited for that album, but Cardi B, no. Who else? I'm not big on Sexy Red. I like Sexy Red collab with Chief Keef. I like that one. That was tough. But not big on Sexy Red. Who else? It's just some people, I'm just like, I want to hear bars. He said Cardi ain't no Doechii, but she dope. Cardi B is dope? Really? Why? Why is Cardi B dope? I don't know. Cardi B not dope to me. Cardi B was rapping, and I'm happy about that. But dope is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not big on Cardi like that. Nah. Hell nah. Hell nah. That's just me though. That's my perspective. I don't think Cardi get busy like that. With the bars, yeah. With the bars, Cardi B too inconsistent with the bars, man. Even when Meg Thee Stallion get on one of them records where it's a banger, she gonna have a bar in there or a couple bars in there that's like, you feel me? Cardi musically makes bops, but maybe not in the rapping sense. Okay, I'm cool with that. But even then, I don't like Cardi's bangers either. I don't like Cardi B bangers either. I like Doechii's bangers. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I know Nicki Minaj doing all the stuff that she doing, but we don't gotta perform here. Let's be serious. Before we knew all the things that Nicki Minaj was doing, right? Nicki got better bangers than Cardi. And I'm not talking about, you know what I mean, anything that Nicki been doing recently. I'm talking about when I was growing up, when I was listening to the radio, all that different stuff. Nicki's run, in my opinion, was better than Cardi's run. That's just how I feel. You feel me? Nicki's run was better than Cardi's run. I think Nicki rapped better than Cardi. I think you feel what I'm saying? That's just me. But Nicki was too poppy at one point. And you gotta remember too, I'm really like I grew up listening to Young Money. You feel what I'm saying? I grew up listening to Young Money. Because I was a huge Lil Wayne fan. So really it's like, yes, Nicki Minaj can rap. Nicki did fall, like, as far as her ability, Nicki Minaj is downhill for sure. But her ability, she can rap. But I think with Cardi just like, it wasn't enough props or proof of her getting busy for me. Think about it. When Young Money was coming out, they wasn't rapping as crazy as everybody, but they was at least like getting on shit and getting kind of busy. You know what I mean? And I feel like Cardi has moments where but she ain't had as many moments as, you feel what I'm saying? And even then, I still think Cardi B is in similar-esque of Young Money, right? But I do think that she recently has made an effort to say, I'm going to rap better. So I respect that. Megan not good to me either. Now, Megan can actually rap. Meg Thee Stallion can actually rap, bro. Meg Thee Stallion can actually rap. Like, actually. My thing is this. If you got the back in the day freestyles on the camera with you can't be mad. You gotta respect that. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if they're getting busy. Meg Thee Stallion back in the day on the camera, she was getting busy. She had the freestyles on the radio. She had all that stuff. She might but Meg Thee Stallion be rapping, bro, for real. I'm the type of person where I think Meg could have got busy with Drake in a battle. I think Meg could have got busy. For real. So, you feel me? I think she could have got busy. So, anyway, before I went on a crazy rant. But so essentially what Doechii is just saying is like, yeah, you can't loop me in by saying I'm so different from my sisters and all this different stuff. Because I'm not the type of person that think Doechii's not like a no-name gypsy or a no-name. Doechii's not, but you hear people put her in those conversations or whatever. I don't see Doechii in that light. I see Doechii as like, she has substance. She talks about her real life. She appreciates the craft. And she can also make bangers. And that confuses people. That's one thing we got to be honest about. That confuses people. When you have all of these elements about, not even just in rap, in life, when you have all of these different elements about you as a human being, right? It confuses people. They don't understand how somebody can feel this way and feel this way and think this way. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that. And that was the same confusion with Kendrick. People were confused with Kendrick when he first came in the game. How was it that, you know what I mean, somebody is political, right? But then rapping songs like Michael Jordan and different stuff. Y'all remember the conversations about Kendrick? A lot of people try to make it seem like he was just Nas too. You feel what I'm saying? People didn't like Kendrick's perspectives on, and I don't know. I'm just assuming, right? But I think it could have been one of the reasons the interview stopped so much. I think at least because people didn't like the way Kendrick was talking about certain stuff. They didn't like his perspective on politics. They didn't like Kendrick's perspective on a lot of different shit. And so Kendrick caught up. What a lot of people know is Kendrick caught a lot of flack just like this. But it's easy to forget that when you see what Kendrick went on to do. But Kendrick came into the game with a lot of scrutiny too. And people forget that. Kendrick was getting he got a lot of scrutiny early, bro. You know what I mean? Rhapsody. Yeah, I don't see Doechii as a Rhapsody. Rhapsody is where it's like, yeah, you can't compare the two, Jalopy. I disagree. I think it's definitely comparable. I think Doechii, bro, as somebody who really, I'm not saying you haven't, but from my perspective, Doechii really, like, it feels like she's going down the same blueprint, but like as a woman. Like Doechii, I think Doechii can potentially take it further. Now, I don't know about she can match Kendrick's discography because that's hard for anybody to do. I don't know if it's going to take a while. But Doechii can really take this as far as the brand, as far as Doechii, the name. I think it's possible that Doechii can mess around and take this further than Kendrick. And in that sense. And I think if you're paying attention to the way even this song is setting things up, she can really do it. She can be that all elements artist too, just like Kendrick was that all elements. He did To Pimp a Butterfly. He did Good Kid, Mad City. They said he can't do it again. The standard's too high. He did To Pimp a Butterfly. They said he can't do it. You know what I'm saying? What is he supposed to do now? He did Damn to be commercial and beat everybody in that element. Then he turned around and give you Mr. Morale, which is getting, you know what I mean? Which is aging extremely well. But yeah, you feel what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get back to the bars. I'm glad that Doechii is doing this though, because I don't want Doechii to end up getting boxed in either. I want her to be able to, I want people to see Doechii as the all-around ability rapper, hitmaker that she is. Now, let's get into this next four. For now, let's stick it to the fact that hate don't make you powerful. Y'all monitoring spirits. Go monitor that checkbook. Fashion Week was radical. Diamonds what my neck took. Try to turn the other cheek, but y'all just too damn extra. I had to take it to the stew and show these niggas pressure. Like, and that's really what it is. Doechii essentially saying here, y'all watching us and calling us saying we bought it, saying we doing all this different stuff. When in reality, look at what we doing. We getting busy. You feel what I'm saying? She definitely was on the Fashion Week. She up in the style. She really showing and showing the fruits of her labor if you've been paying attention recently, while still being attached to the labor, right? So then she says, I try to turn the other cheek, but y'all just too damn extra. And that's the reality. Like a lot of people, you got to think, TDE been quiet. You feel what I'm saying? Especially with the acts of Doechii and etc. They've been quiet. They've been letting people go wild and all that different stuff. So Doechii essentially saying that she tweeted too, I think or made an Instagram post saying, next year, I'm going to be the bully. So when you look at it from that perspective, this is a warning. This is her saying, I'm about to bomb on y'all. You feel what I'm saying? And that's really what it is. And I think that's why and really in reality, it's like, why would she not be able to respond to all the shit that everybody been saying? Everybody been saying all this different stuff about her all this time. She ain't said nothing back. But now when she responds, it's a problem. And that's the problem with social media. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like, no matter what, it's going to be an issue. No matter what, people gonna have an issue with what you said, with people what you did. It don't matter. You feel what I'm saying? So every time she say something, people gonna be mad. But the reality, people support her too, and that's what's important. Then boom, Father forgive him. Now this is where it's like, oof. If this age well, which I think it will, she said, Father forgive him. They're gonna be hurt when I deliver. The album's 6 months old. It need a fucking babysitter. The album's for all the punchline fiends, right? Father forgive them. They're gonna be hurt when I deliver. The album's 6 months old and need a fucking babysitter. What? What? Now, from this bar, y'all tell me if y'all heard the same thing. What I heard was the album dropping in March. That's a metaphor. Yeah, a punchline. Metaphors come in similes and punchlines. I mean, metaphors come in similes and metaphors. I mean, punchlines come in similes and metaphors. But essentially, look, Father forget, like, that sound like we dropping in March. Am I tripping? That sound like what she's saying. We dropping in March. Am I tripping? The album's 6 months old and need a babysitter? I don't know. I could be tripping. I could be overthinking the bar. But 9 months, it's a 9-month term, right? 6 months. Need a babysitter. We're looking at a completion or a drop in March. That's what I'm looking at. But even then, if it's not a completion, then it's going to drop in March. It's one of the two. Either the album going to be finished or the album is dropping in March. Divinely, absolutely. And this is my thing. I had said, I waited to make a video on it, you know what I'm saying? Because I do want to just be especially in 2026, just to be mindful, right? Just to be a lot more mindful, a lot more responsible. Make sure that, we're going for quality over quantity, you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So in reality, I really wanted to make a video talking about, it seems like Doechii is getting ready to drop around the same time as Nicki Minaj. Because Nicki Minaj said that she was dropping March 27th. Now, she did say no more music, but she keep going back and forth. One day she's not going to drop the album. The next day she is going to drop the album. So if she is dropping that album and Doechii is talking about, yeah, I'm dropping in March, it's about to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. Let it be. Look, Nicki had a lot to say about Doechii, y'all. Nicki had a lot to say about Doechii. Let Doechii got some bars on there. Me and the homies was talking about this last night. Let Doechii have some bars on there about Nicki. And Doechii will fry her up and down the street. Up and down the street. Up and down the street. You feel me? But it just a bit. Oh, he said no, Nicki is not dropping. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if she really gonna drop or not. One day she's saying she not, the next day she's saying she is. She said the album 6 months old might have been saying the album done is for 6 months. Ooh, that's true too. That's dangerous. Because if that's the case, there's no telling when it's gonna drop. Either way, that's a scary situation. That's a scary situation regardless. Diego said, if she gives us a 90 overall album, she different. Look, in my opinion, all Doechii got to do right here, all Doechii got to do You feel what I'm saying? And I'm glad my boy did. I'm glad y'all know the we talking like this too, because this the type of language me and the homies be having. But if Doechii give us an 85 overall album, that's all we need. If she get us an 85 overall album, she did her job. It don't need to be a classic. Jalopy, you don't need a babysitter for a baby. Exactly. That's why I feel like she could be saying that, you know what I mean? But it's either the album, so cool. So the album is either done or it's coming out in March. It's one of the two. But yeah, I think if Doechii give us an 85 overall album, it's dark for the industry. It's dark. But if she give us a classic, give it up. Give it up. If she drop a classic, it's over with. It's over with. Keish, what Keish say? Let me see. Oh, hey, shout out Explicit Eli again for the super chat. Appreciate you. TD trying to get your money off the bat. Hey, they already did. But I think they going for the second wave. That's just how I feel. I think they coming for the second wave. I think they making sure this time. Like, You feel what I'm saying? I think they making sure. You feel me? But yeah, let me look and see what somebody said. Key said something. Okay, I think it's right here. Thank you, Explicitly. I appreciate you, bro. Real talk. Jalopy, I was thinking if Drake was pushing Iceman back to springtime, he'd be pretty enough to drop his the same day as Doechii. He would lose. Hey, look. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, well, January 1st. Okay. You heard it here foremost. If I am willing to bet, first of all, it don't matter it don't matter what Drake could drop an album. It don't matter what he sell, because what we about to talk about in a second, to anybody with common sense, is not gonna be legitimate. It's just not gonna be legitimate. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody gonna take it seriously because of what we about to talk about shortly. But she said that she think he could drop on the same day. My theory is if that were to happen, he loses. I'm gonna go out. I think Doechii, bruh, think about it. Let's say what I'm saying is correct. And Doechii drops March and Nicki Minaj don't back out, right? And she drop in March. My theory is, I'm not gonna sit here and say that the numbers that Doechii went on the numbers aspect, but really a lot of people don't really care about that right now. We're gonna be talking about Doechii album way longer. For example, Drake and Nicki can potentially have a higher first week, right? First of all, Drake's first week not gonna matter. But let's say that did matter and it was a first week. Think about it. Those albums are gonna fall off after the first week. They're gonna have a sharp decline after the first week. When you look at GNX had this big loop, right? It declined a little bit and then it stayed, and it kept its pace. That's how you know everybody listening. It revamped in the Super Bowl. They kept this pace for an entire year. You can't fake that, right? So from that perspective, Doechii dropped at the same time as Nicki. You know, I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna make a video on that. I'm making a video on that. And what I'll do is I'll preface the fact that Nicki Minaj isn't for sure dropping. You're trolling, bro. Stop it. You're trolling. But I'm not gonna say yeah, I'm about to, hey, is he a regular? Is he a regular? Okay, he trolling. Okay, yeah, get that trolling out the way early. Get that trolling out the way early, video. Don't do that. Let us know you trolling early. She said time him out. Nah, I'm gonna let him. VDM, you good, brother. You good, brother. But look, what I'm saying is, I I think if Doechii was to drop on the same day, or 30-second timeout got me crying. Nah, he a real one, so he not. Nah, we ain't gonna time him. But I do think that Doechii, her album might not sell more first week, but it will sell more third week, fourth week, fifth week, sixth week, seventh week, eighth week, ninth week. We need to start having a conversation. Bro, first week sales are overrated as hell. All first week sales says is people are interested to come listen. The rest of the week sales say that people are still listening. Let's stop judging that shit by the first week. That's over with. We got to stop judging it by first week. That's over with. You feel what I'm saying? We got to stop judging these albums by first week. How many second week, third week, fourth week, fifth week, sixth week, seventh week, eighth week? Doechii's album sold more. Doechii's mixtape sold more the longer it was out. I remember people making fun of Doechii when the album first dropped. I remember being on the defense, you know what I'm saying? We was on the defense supporting Doechii, right? And I think it was low numbers, right? And people was going crazy on it. I'm like, bro, it don't matter because they're gonna do the promo, they're gonna do the rollout, and it's gonna last. Now, what we really need to be talking about is who got the better music. Look, this is what I learned. And y'all, I want y'all to think about this. This is what I learned. I want y'all to consider this. There are different types of people. There's one thing I learned. I don't know if there's multiple types of people, right? And you can usually link people into like 4 quadrants of personality. It's something I learned at this at Live For You, right? Is that people can really be in different personalities. So you got like promoters, you got like analyzers, you got like supporters, and then you got controllers, right? So all of these things got positive and aspects effects to them that, you know, depending on your state of being at that time, they switched, right? Some people are analyzers to the point where some people actually need to see that this is worth listening to first. That's the one thing that I really had to understand. Like, the art should come first all the time, but that's just our perspective. That's how we feel about it, and we should stand behind that perspective, for sure. But if we're talking about the real world and real dynamics, real personalities, like, there are people out there who really, like analyzers, who really got to see things and really got to, like, before they really buy into it. So, really, sales can't be out of the conversation totally. Sales should just be the least important thing. That's it. I think we can talk about sales. I think we can do all the different shit. But in general, it should be the least important thing of everything. Like, it should be cherry on top. Like, it should be like, oh yeah, they did this, they did that, they did this, they did that. It was dope, boom, boom, boom. And it also sold well. That's it. It shouldn't be they sold well, so therefore this artist is A, B, and C. No. It sold well? Yes. But that's after we talk about the quality of the album. Let's talk about the quality of the album first, which is another thing that's subjective. You feel what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, we just got to accept, we know what we like. It doesn't have to be right. And that's something that I really do want to harp on in 2026. We don't have to be right for us to fight for what we believe in. We don't have to be right. That's just the reality. Because I think everybody focused on being right. And that's the problem with a lot of stuff. People focus more on being right than being who they are. And I'm not saying that there's some things where you got to be right about. You got to be right about certain things. And that's, you know what I mean? That's for sure. But when we start talking about how albums sound, how boom, boom, all this different stuff, it is subjective. But we just got to feel, in hip hop, it's important, I think, for us to focus on the art point, on the art form. And that's how I feel. And that's how a lot of us in here feel. But I'm not going to have somebody, if somebody in here and they care about sales first, I'm not going to look at them crazy and be like, boom, boom. But they just got to acknowledge that's how the systems end up getting created that get created. And that's how people get away from the art. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a human thing. It's human. You feel me? It happens. But because we're human and it will be pushed in that type of direction sometimes. But in reality, it's subjective. We just know I just know that my subjectivity is what I believe in. I don't believe in the subjectivity that the sales come first. I just disagree. And I'm willing to fight for that. So you feel what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. So there's that. She says, I did 8 years of failing plus a lot of cold winters. Used to be a starving artist. Now I want the whole dinner. I want my things. Nissan to a Bentley coupe. Got a co-sign from Kendrick. She's Baby King, which is fire. God keep me from the bitterness. Help me reach the masses. All the black women go feel this shit. Like, this is the Heart Part 3 before Good Kid. That's how I feel. Not as crazy, but it's a different energy. Some people might think this is better than the Heart Part 3 because it's a different energy. A woman might connect to this deeper than I would connect to this. But this is her heart. This feels like the heart before the project. The Heart Part 3 before the debut. That's how I feel. You know? Jalopy killing me with these comparisons. You're not hearing me, bro. It's not about the bars. It's not about the style. It's not about that. It's about the timing. It's about where they are in their careers. For example, I can say that Kendrick is in a similar position that Tupac was in when Tupac got out, right? And it's not to say that everything is the same. It's to say that their position within the industry is similar. And I think that Doechii is in the position that Kendrick was in before Kendrick released Get Kim Mad City. You could argue that she's further as far as accolade and whatever than Kendrick was. You feel what I'm saying? You could argue that. She got one of the best starts in hip-hop history. Kendrick Rise felt way more organic than Doechii does. Now, this is what you got to consider. This is the nuance we got to talk about. Of course, Kendrick's going to feel more authentic because TDE was still building. They are still building. But TDE is a massive superpower in comparison to what it was when Kendrick was the thing that they were. Kendrick was, I don't want it to sound like this, but Kendrick was really the test subject. Not to say that he was you or nothing like that, but Kendrick was like, we got something we think works. We know it works in the streets. We know it works in the underground. Will it work on a mainstream level? Yes. So now, the difference is that, and it's two completely different eras. Yeah, all of Doechii grind is online, right? So I think a lot of people feel away about the internet grind, the internet rise. What people don't get, it's a new era, and she is of that era. The internet, Gen Z really got to experience, especially older Gen Z, got to experience before the internet really took off and now, where the internet is today. So that's really what it's about. You feel what I'm saying? It's different generations, different eras. So that's why it's going to look different. As a nigga that lived through Kendrick's rise, Doechii's felt more authentic because Dot blew the fuck up in like a month after dropping Swimming Pools. That's true, but he had already had Overly Dedicated, and he had already been nominated for Section 80, right? He won an award for Section 80, Lyricist of the Year, right? I think that was 2010? No, it's 2011. Overly Dedicated was 2010. So I think Section 80 was 2011. Yeah, no, facts. That's what people don't understand. Some of us essentially grew up, like Kendrick was older than us, but a lot of us grew up with Kendrick. Some of us grew up with Kendrick's music. Like a lot of the, like I was taught a lot. Like that's the thing. You feel what I'm saying? It's not like niggas went to college. You feel what I'm saying? And this is what I think. People might not understand my love for hip hop. I didn't go to college. I'm not like a, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a high school graduated, all this different stuff. Like I had to, you know what I'm saying? Even my living situation wasn't great. So a lot of the things that I learned was through hip hop, was through this art form, was through listening to people that give game. And that's probably why I have such a strong love for making sure that the music is important, that people are saying what they got, that people are sharing important messages, because I know what it did for me. I know what it did for me and my friends. You feel what I'm saying? Like I know how important it was to be in a situation where you might not necessarily be in a most educated situation and all of that, but you can still learn through life. You can still learn through the music. And that's really what it was. Life taught me, meeting people taught me, meeting all different types of people, and listening to the music taught me. Kendrick's music really taught me a lot of stuff. Ab Soul's music taught me a lot of stuff. Tupac's music taught me a lot of stuff. Ice Cube's music taught me a lot of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Immortal Technique, Lupe, Nas. Like this was my education. This was my school of heart. This is my school. You feel what I'm saying? Learning from these artists. This is how I was educated. So, and then learning on my own. Because these artists also taught to think for yourself. So going and learning for myself, going to understand life. And that's what these artists really did. Like some of us grew up with these artists and learned a lot through this art. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody couldn't, you feel what I'm saying? A lot of people not going to understand that. But everybody couldn't go to, you know what I mean? Everybody couldn't learn the same way as everybody else. And as much as we talk about the streets, as much as we talk about the Black community, I would think people would understand that. You know what I mean? I would think that you look back into, you know, what Tupac said, you know what I mean? You would think that you look at people who learned through hip hop and lived through these experiences, and you would say, look, this is a rose that grew through concrete. And you wouldn't see and look at the rose and be like, you know what I mean? You wouldn't say that you can't respect that rose or it's dirty or whatever. You would think it's beautiful, just like Tupac said, because it's a rose that grew from concrete. So why can't we do that with the people that, you know what I mean? That's why shit like F the streets was interesting to me. Because I'm like, damn, we can say F a lot of shit. We can say F police. We can say F ICE. We can say F the current administration. We can say F a lot of shit. We can say F the systems that created the streets, that created the environment for the streets to collapse itself within. We can talk, there's a lot of stuff. But, you know, that's the reality. You feel me? Dre Majesty was good, boy. Hey, if y'all like battle rap, go rock with Dre Majesty. Bro is nice. One of the newer. And I'm like, I'm one of the people, I'm the same way in battle rap that I am in music. I'm hella picky. I'm hella like, you know what I mean? Like I'm very specific about shit. So Dre Majesty, check him out. Dre Majesty versus Pret is fire. Dre Majesty versus Prezi is fire. So if y'all like battle rap, go check it out. Bro actually got something to say. That's my type of shit. Like people who actually got something to say. You feel me? I think battle rap is starting to make that turn too, where a lot of people starting to really lean into saying something. So check out Dre Majesty. But he said, tell us when that battle happening. I don't know, bro. I don't know when that battle happened. I'm chilling. I'm chilling right now. I'm ready to go though. All my material was done. I got my material for dude. All my shit done. So the second they hit me and say we ready, I'm ready to go. But what's it called? But yeah, ultimately, bro, that's really the whole thing. Like hip hop in general, for some people, is the educator. And sometimes you get in a situation where people will shun you for that. But at the same time, we want to talk about how much we love the streets. We want to talk about how much we love people who come from low income areas, come from poverty, come from broken homes and shit. But them be the same people we try to squash. We don't try to educate. We don't try to lead. We just squash them because people didn't get a college degree. People didn't go, you know what I mean? Well, the reality, all these things existed. Our lives existed before these institutions, before these things. You feel me? So it's that simple. Sometimes you at your lowest and you seek guidance growing up. Exactly. Especially when you recognize that the guidance that you've been given might not be the best guidance for you. And I'm not saying, my family taught me a lot of great things. My family also been through a lot of tough stuff. So, it's the same thing for a lot of us. You feel me? We get passed down from generation to generation. We don't talk about how, even the crack epidemic, we need reparations for that. Think about how many behavioral patterns are passed down to some people in the family and some people in your family simply because of the habits that were passed down from the generation that was affected from the crack epidemic. Avoidance, neglect, abuse, all these different things. And we think, no, bro, these conditions pass down behaviors. And that's what, when we talk about breaking the curse, what we're really saying is breaking up these behaviors. And that's what this music is about. Even when we listen to Doechii, we listen to Kendrick, we listen to all these people, like, that's what the music is about, breaking down these barriers. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what we trying to do, is break down these barriers, break these curses. So when I hear Kendrick Lamar, when I hear Mr. Morale, these are about breaking curses. Good Kid, Mad City, humanizing humanizing the streets. To Pimp a Butterfly, humanizing the streets by keeping the real perspective. Then humanizing people with Damn, humanizing the world. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. You be playing the guitar, I'm learning. And I'm focused on taking it more seriously this year. That was another thing I kept slacking on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, not being consistent with it. Definitely trying to be at least good at the guitar by like March, for sure. Right now, just simple stuff like songs, but trying to, eventually create original stuff, eventually create, just the understanding of how to do it in general, and then creating my own stuff sometimes for fun. You feel me? But just little hobbies. We focusing on hobbies this year for sure. Yeah, and Damn is extremely advanced spiritually. Damn is extremely advanced spiritually, bro. Damn is really yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Damn is a different level when you think about what he's speaking on, man. And yeah, Damn is a special album. Damn is a special album, especially on a spiritual level. Now, there's another thing we got to talk about. This lawsuit. By the way, I'm gonna play. Actually, no. Let me play this snippet for y'all one more time for the people that ain't been in here for a little bit. Let me show y'all this Kendrick snippet because this shit hard. It ain't really much, but you could tell. Okay, I see the vibe. We're gonna play this one more time. We did a breakdown at the beginning, so when this live over, if y'all want to go listen to how we was basically just talking about lyrics, G and X, how he was approaching bars on G and X versus what this sounds like, then you can look at the beginning, but we'll go over it a little more right here.
A real drop comes on top, like all those. Like what? Like after, like
Feast, bro. Feast, stop playing, bro. Look, I ain't gonna lie. Next person that do that, gotta get. Yo, I gotta do a timeout for at least a minute. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill, brother. Okay. Come on.
Like what? Like happens? Like
Kind of like that.
and like a real drop comes on top, like all new film.
First of all, I know I keep stopping this, but I wasn't even. We got to pay attention to what Antoff is saying too.
Like what? Like happens? Like
Kind of like that.
and like a real drop comes on top, like all new film.
I was only 16, whistling hymns of a vixen, drifting back and forth.
Something like that.
Sooner.
Say it again. For more.
I'm trying to cater you so used to the
Whoa! Wait, I never got that far in the clip.
Say it again. For more.
I'm trying to cater you so used to the
Huh? That's it. Hold on.
Say it again. For more.
I'm trying to cater you so used to
Ah. Hold on. Kendrick might be getting on some. Yeah, right. Exactly. His next album be electronic music, experimental. I can see Kendrick getting on some experimental stuff, but I ain't gonna lie. I ain't really think about Kendrick going that way, but I'll be down for that. I'll be down for that angle. I like that instrumental sounded. I love how that sounds. I don't know if that was Kendrick. If it was, that's fire because I would love to see that. But what we talked about earlier was Kendrick. The difference in Kendrick rapping here and Kendrick rapping on G and X is he seemed a lot more compact right here, and he might be getting back into focusing on the technicalities. Now, if you want to hear the rest, you can go to the beginning after this. But I want to hear what Anatoff was saying and really talk about this too.
Like what? Like happens? Like
Kind of like that.
It seemed like right over here they going over like, and this is funny because DJ Head had been saying that there needs to be more background of how this stuff is being created. But it seems like Anatoff right here is essentially going over how they want to bring a drop into the original song, like how they want to build up to the start of the song is what I'm hearing.
like what? Like happens? Like
Kind of like that.
and like a real drop comes on top, like all new film.
I was only 16, whistling hymns of a vixen, drifting back and forth.
Yeah, that.
I was only 16.
Like all new film.
Okay, so it seemed like, yeah, I don't really know much about, you know what I mean, all that stuff. But from a inexperienced, not really understanding what's going on perspective, right? It really sounded like he focusing more on, it really do sound like he focusing more on like he got this like move, like all that feels very, the production sounds huge. Like movie-esque. And when I think about it, that's how G and X felt. And that might be Anatoff's, like, that might be his role in all of this. Is making it bigger, making the music sound bigger than anything. Because Kendrick's music does do that too, right? But I think G and X had a different feel. Like Whacked Out Murals feels like the intro to, you know what I mean? Like it feel like the intro to a movie, like you sitting down in the movies, it's starting, and it feel like that, right? Every sound matters. I can see that too. That might be the perspective that they in, the intention. And ultimately, it really feels like that might be his part in all of this, is helping making it sound bigger than life. Because really think about it, he works with Taylor Swift. And that's her whole thing, is like that pop, like Taylor Swift should be sounding like them Disney movies the Disney movies that we used to watch when we was young and stuff, like the beginning of it, or like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's a part of these songs being presented in movies, songs being presented and stuff like that. So I really think that might be his part in all this. You feel what I'm saying? He said, really got to get some sleep. Where are you at? Where are you at, Cascade? It's 1 p.m. over here. He said, I got to get some sleep. Shit. That's crazy. But yeah.
I was only 16, whistling hymns of a vixen drifting back and forth.
This could very well be a this very well could be a throwaway too, like bro was saying. Like Pete Crawley is saying, this could be a throwaway. We might never hear this song. This might got nothing to do with a new project. At this point, you never know, man. Kendrick do so much misdirection. We never gonna be able to really pinpoint nothing, bro. But that's the fun part. If you watch Attack on Titan and all that, you know. You know what I mean? We might get another Untitled. I ain't gonna lie, the homie was saying that. The homie was saying that there might another Untitled might be on the way. And when you think about it, look, 80 songs, 100 songs are recorded. I don't know, man. A deluxe with just extras would be fire. A deluxe with some extra songs, you can still drop an album that way. You know what I mean? But who knows? So, the ending, somebody said this is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be going on with that. But now, let's look at this damn lawsuit, man, because this is ridiculous. Hold on. All the stuff they've been talking about, Doechii. Look at this, bro. Look at this, man. This shit out. First of all, I want y'all to look at this bullshit. This is outrageous. Before we even talk about look at this, man. Hold on. So y'all know Doechii, this dude, I know people say don't platform this stuff. Hey, look, man. Somebody got to see it, bro. Y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Okay? Apparently, he responding. Look at this, dude. This is Adin Ross essentially responding to Doechii. Look at this.
You know I'm a Jew. Before me, you know I'm a Jew.
What is Adin Ross starting to do with this whole like I'm a Sue leading with the Jewish thing, like trying to make that like like the new nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Why like this shit like this just don't feel like an accident to me. Stuff like this just don't feel like an accident to me, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
You know I'm a Jew. Before me, you know I'm a Sue. You know what to do. Fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii. Hey. You know I'm a Jew. Before me, you know I'm a Sue. You know what to do. Fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's outrageous. I think yeah. That's very outrageous, bro. It's a lot of things about that verse that don't sit right with me. Just on a deeper level. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all, man. Look, if you see my Illuminati video about how, you know, they most likely use that to use that whole era to really put these narratives on certain artists. Bro, I'm looking at this situation and I'm like, you can hear the narratives being set up in these bars. Like Sim saying stuff like, I'm a sue, I'm a, like all this different stuff, right? And it's almost like they trying to normalize the suing stuff over bars, over all this different stuff, right? Really to like give. Yeah, man, this don't feel like an accident, man. And I'm gonna be honest, 2026, bro. If you see my video on how the whole Illuminati era changed perspective on artists, I ain't gonna lie, we gonna be having a lot more uncomfortable conversations like that on this channel, bro. I'm not holding back 2026. I'm really not. First of all, it's important. He called Glasses an anti-Semite. Well, you know, I might as well go. Look, man. Let me talk to y'all. You know what? It's January 1st, 2026. Look, let me ask y'all a question. I'm not even gonna ask y'all a question. 2026, in order for us to have the best conversations, we gotta be honest. We can't keep playing these games and being ultra politically correct and all that. We gotta be honest out here, bro. And I know, look, 2026, I know I'm about to get a lot of hate. I'm about to get hella hate this year. I really am. Because a lot of the time, there's conversations that I feel like, oh, that might be too sensitive of a subject. I'm not going to think like that this year. I'm not thinking like that this year, man. So be ready to be pissed off sometimes. But be ready to agree with me sometimes. Because, honestly, be ready to potentially stop watching the channel. Like, it's going to be that type of... we're going to have real conversations over here. Real conversations. I'm done with the labeling. I'm done with the attitude era. This the attitude era. And I'm pushing it like that. I'm telling you. We need that. Because you can't, let's start right now. You can't get on stream and keep using this anti-Semite stuff. We tired of it. It's over with. It's time for, look, everybody need to get the same criticism. All groups of people, you need to get the same criticism. All right? We tired of seeing people being able to do whatever they want. You can trash black artists all day because you know if somebody respond, all you got to do is call them an anti-Semite and now the whole conversation over with. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not falling for that. Not in 2026. And the problem is, and I'm gonna talk to y'all real quick. Look. I'm gonna talk to y'all. All right? I'm gonna talk to y'all. Okay? Check this out. If y'all want this to continue to go, if we keep playing within these lines, if people keep playing within these identities and all that, and we just stay there, I'm telling you, it's going to be impossible to talk about anything out here. It's going to be impossible to have real conversations about anything out here. You feel what I'm saying? We got to be honest. Stop allowing groups of people to be able to say whatever they want about us, right? To be able to say whatever they want about other groups of people. Because it ain't even just, it's not even just, you feel me? It's all types of groups of people. We need to stop allowing people to box everybody in, right? To this one linear way of perceiving and thinking this. We got to, because we can't have real conversations if we don't do that. How are we supposed to? So we supposed to just sit there. We as content creators or whatever. We supposed to just sit here and allow Adin Ross to call G Malone an anti-Semite. That's what we're supposed to do? Because it's the wrong thing to say? I'm just asking. Because it's the wrong thing to say, we're not supposed to call that out? And this is what I'm saying. We can't be picking and choosing what people can talk about, what people can't talk about in 2026. And I'm going to set the tone. Say like all the hate, all the whatever y'all want, whatever. I'm setting the tone 2026. Real talk. And the thing is, I'm going to talk to y'all. Y'all are the main, and I'm not saying you guys literally, but I'm saying y'all, the people who are watching, the people who are participating. Y'all can't keep feeding into it because that's the only way it works. People don't even know why they don't want to criticize Israel the way they should. Of course, it's going to because they're going to take down your video. They're going to demonetize. They're going to do all the different stuff. But we can't do that to each other. We got to have nuanced perspective. We got to have people saying what they got to say and being real. Y'all not tired of the politically correct, and y'all not tired of it? It's a few conversations I wanted to have last year. And I was saying on my live yesterday, going in. I don't know if y'all was there for the New Year's Eve, but I know some of y'all was. But it's like I was saying, there was some stuff that I really wanted to speak on last year that I didn't speak on. And that's me being real, because it's really my first year in being a real consistent YouTuber. So that level is certain things you got to learn. You got to learn. Everybody gonna have something to say no matter what. But it's people out there who don't feel that same way. And that's what you gotta understand. In anything you do in life, it's gonna be groups of people, whatever, that don't like what you gotta say, that don't like what you're doing, and don't respect it. And gonna try to, this is the thing too. I'm gonna say something else that's gonna piss people off. This censorship shit, we keep trying to protect, it's everywhere. This is America. It's not one political party. No, America. And we supposed to be built off of people saying what they want to say whenever they want to. That's what we supposed to be built off of. Free speech. Don't think because you seen a white dude who got a Republican hat on, right? Don't think because you see him saying free speech that free speech is a problem. That being real was no. Who you think was the original outlaws? Who you think was the original politically incorrect? Who you think was originally saying what they didn't want us to say? Take a guess. It was us. It was hip hop. It was Malcolm X. It was all these people. We can't allow people to. That's what hip hop is about. We want all the hip hop. Look. Check this out. So we love hip hop so much. Everybody love hip hop so much, right? Until somebody got something to really say. Then it's that's insensitive. That's not fair. What are we talking about? What are we doing here? And look, if I gotta be clean, if I gotta be, you know what I'm saying, preppy and all this to be credible, I don't want your credibility. You can keep it. That's how I'm feeling all 2026. If I gotta do this, do that, and be no. Fuck that credibility then. Simple. Y'all can keep the credibility. Straight up. That's how we moving all 2026. Keep the credibility. Straight up. Oh, you saying this and that's not fair. That's not okay then. I don't know what to tell you. Because one thing I know, Dave Chappelle said it best. I don't trust nobody that's 100% sure right now about what's going on. And I feel the same way. Because in reality, it's a lot of this shit is confusing. You really got to be in your own world. And that's what I'm dedicating 2026 to as well. Being in my own world. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, let me finish thinking. But being in my own world. You got to be in your own world. You feel what I'm saying? Do your due diligence. Pick up some hobbies. You know what I'm saying? Get off of social media. Have social media time limits. You know what I'm saying? Go create. We all creators. Just express yourself. Because in reality, bro, this whole thing is getting so wild. And the only way we're going to be able to set this shit right is if we break barriers. If we talk about what we're supposed to talk about, everything. You see what I'm saying? We can't, this is hip hop, right? It got to be all the elements. Don't come over here talking about this hip hop and then also telling me we got to be clean. We got to be politically correct. We got to be, no, say what you want. What are you talking about? It's a lot of, look, I understand that I'm learning. So I understand how not to platform things. How not to, you feel what I'm saying? That's what I learned through YouTube this year. Just certain stuff, right? But in reality, think about it like this. There might, we know I gotta be responsible with the platform. That's for sure. But there's some things we know we gotta talk about that people scared to talk about. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the reality. And it's my thing is this, we gonna wait until shit like this happen. Where somebody who was defending somebody, a black woman in the culture, somebody we respect in the culture, is being minimized to an anti-Semite because he don't like how Adin Ross was disrespecting somebody. What? And we supposed to let that slide? Come on, man. Come on, man. What are we doing? Hell no, this is hip hop. When Tupac was talking about Dolores Tucker and all this different stuff, Dolores Tucker was talking about, oh yeah, Tupac and all these guys are spreading a terrible image for the whatever. And let's talk about it. You can debate that all you want. The reality is, where are we coming from? Where are the realities are we coming from? Is this some separate place from America? Hell no, this is in America. And that's where we come from. And I'm not saying everybody come from that, but I'm saying hip hop, that rawness, and I don't think hip hop is just predicated to the streets. But what I'm saying is, or people who live in poverty, whatever. I just think no matter where you are as a Black person in society, you definitely got stories to tell. And I think everybody got stories to tell. But in hip hop, man, it's the you see what's going on out here? It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time to say F all of that. F your restrictions, F your perception of how I should think, F your perception of, because that's the reality. That's what this is supposed to be, man. You feel what I'm saying? So yes, expect the tough conversations. Now, of course, I love to talk about, you know what I'm saying, just talk about things on the surface level. I love doing all of it. I like doing all of it. The deep stuff, the surface stuff, I like all that. But we focused on conversations this year because that's what that's why I'm going to be going live a lot more. Because we can talk about this stuff on a live, but when it's time to really break you feel what I'm saying? So yeah, nah, we not, it's nuance in this stuff. It's nuance in this conversation. You don't have to align with, you know what I'm saying, one linear way of thinking. You don't. You're a human being. And all of these constructs is how they limit who we are. That's how they limit our full potential of who we are. These constructs. We gotta, and let's start by just being real. Let's start there. Let's start there. You feel me? How many of y'all felt that way about Adin Ross? But you probably, would you tweet it? You feel what I'm saying? Like it's the attitude era, bro. It's the attitude era. I feel like that's how it should be. It's the attitude era of America. That's the only way we're gonna get this shit back. That's the only way this is gonna go in the direction of the people. We gotta turn it into the attitude era. All this, no, it's time to get busy. Because the people, they think about it. Think about this. Are they being politically correct? No. And some people are like, oh, well, that's because blah, blah. No, let's keep it real. Let's be honest. People know that if they're giving us more social responsibility than they have, which means they're at a better disadvantage or a better advantage. They can say whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. Boom, all this different stuff and have real and say real things, right? But when they come to us, we can't do that because you get called this, you get all this different stuff. But that's how we had the real conversations. You feel me? Like, I remember when they was, bro. I remember when, like, come on, man. People would try to, even then, while I do understand that we're in a very interesting time in America with this current administration. It's a scary situation, right? But I think it's, no matter who up there, it's a scary situation for people regardless. Some of it might be more at home, but regardless, it's like, it's the same thing. Come on. Yo, McConan, talk, bro. Talk, bro. How are we supposed to be politically correct? Look, we talking about all this stuff, round up immigrants and all this different stuff as if the people who run in this country are immigrants. Wrap up all the criminals. We got people that's still in prison right now for selling weed. But the president a criminal. They want to make us be so politically correct, so good guy and all this different stuff, right? Saying the right thing. But meanwhile, they out here wrecking havoc. Hell nah. Hip hop, let's get on some real hip hop shit. Let's get on some real hip hop shit. You feel me? For real though. For real. What would, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Trust me, I will be on that time. I'm telling you now, I'm going to be on that time. The music, the battles, and the content. All 2026. You feel me? I hope everybody else is here on the same time. I hope y'all on the same time. What's true to you? You feel me? Right. I'm saying, look, it's a lot of things. Look, we talking about F the streets. It's a lot of things that 21 Savage could have said on that album. That he could have said F a lot of other things. I see a lot of people, oh, you say F the streets, bro. What's wrong with what he said? He said they be saying oh, what's wrong with saying F the streets? Look at what it's done. All this different stuff, right? When in reality, it's a lot of other stuff you could say fuck to. We could say F the police. We could say F ICE. We could say F the current administration, but nah, F the streets. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. If we not gonna have the real conversations, we're going to get wiped out here. In the influence regard, we're gonna get wiped out here, bro. We gotta keep it real. That's what hip hop is about. Think about oh man. Let me look. I'm about to body this right now, right? Think about this. Think about the things that Kendrick was saying early in his career. Does Kendrick get canceled in 2025 if he says those 2025, 2026 or not? Think about things that Tupac has said in his career. Some of the things that we love as hip hop artists. Our leaders, our greatest leaders. Think about what they said. Do they or do they not get canceled today? Malcolm X with his criticism of white liberals, his criticism of the liberals in general, the criticism of both parties from the Tupacs, from all the people we talk about, we love. Kendrick Lamar at the beginning of his career talking about, I don't believe in that politics shit. Man, hold on. Let me find it. Hold on, man. Hold on, bro. Because even these are things that are, in my perspective, hip hop is. I don't know. That's how I feel. But I also understand that you shouldn't use that same influence to push people away from the process. I get that now. But I still stand on it that hip hop is always going to be anti-government. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? And people pick and choose, right, who they allow to say this type of stuff. Because I promise you, it'll be the same people who feel like everybody's supposed to pick a side in this situation, who love Kendrick and don't got nothing bad to say about Kendrick. Same thing with Tupac. Same thing with Cube. But it's because they say it in the music, so it feels different. But in reality, these are the cores of hip hop. And I'm not saying hip hop is, F both. I'm not saying all that. But what I'm saying is it's anti-government. It's F the government. You feel me? So I'm telling you, if we don't start having real conversations out this with real people, real people's perspectives, because everybody don't got it. Look, man. Look. I'm not trying to minimize nothing. I'm not trying to minimize nothing that nobody doing. I'm not trying to minimize nothing. This is my perspective, man. So don't take no offense to what I'm about to say. But what I'm saying is, life is a teacher too. Life is a teacher too. Life will really teach you. I know that. That was my school. For my teenage years forward, life, experiences. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with in general, like hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? Hip hop teaches. That is school for people. You know, if you listen and you got to just make sure you listen to the right people. I grew up listening to Ab Soul Control System, and y'all expect me or anybody else who think like I do to, no, man. No, it's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that, man. It's not supposed to be like that. No. 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 Absolutely not. We are the cipher. Mother F the government. Exactly, my boy. Exactly. We need to turn up the heat in this month. We need to turn up the heat in this motherfucker, bro. That's how I feel. I'm not saying it's got to be, look, I'm not saying we got to do, just like bro was saying, Easy McConan, the Drake hate farming, whatever people calling it, right? I'm not saying that ultimately that's what needs to be turned up. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the conversations need to heat up. The conversations need to heat up. The things you're not supposed to say, it's time to start saying them. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Pretend like you do if I don't. Pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. Pretend like you don't get what I'm saying. It's time to start saying what you really got to say in this shit. Because they're going to do it. You feel me? They're going to do it to us. And you know what? When I say us, I'm talking about the people. Look, y'all know my ideology really in general. Like black people, like the tribes, we got to love our tribe first and then it goes outward. That's how I feel. You start with your tribe, it goes outward. A lot of times it starts with the love for the tribe and then the hate goes outward. When in reality, you start with love for your tribe and it goes outward, right? And from that perspective, when I say the people, when I say us, I'm talking about all of us. And y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about all of us. You feel me? I'm talking about all of us, man, because it don't matter what you look like. It don't matter what political affiliation you on. It don't matter. It don't matter. It really don't. Because at the end of the day, it's the people who don't got versus them. And then there's some of them that stand for us. That's what this about. I understand the black and the white and all that different stuff. It's time to elevate, though. It's time to get in the rooms with people who you might not fully agree with. It's time to have conversations with people you might not fully agree with. It's time to get in situations with people you don't fully agree with. Not being in the echo chamber. And then just repeating and regurgitating the echo chamber. It's time for us to have real representation of real people saying real things that involve real life. It's time for that today. Because if we don't, we're going to get caught up. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The respectability, politics, and all that, it's over with. It's over with. It should be, in my opinion. And it's all my perspective. Nobody got to agree with me. I want to make that clear. When y'all see my lives, see me as you know what I mean? As you. I'm not up here. I don't got no crazy credentials and none of that. I'm not an industry, I don't know. I'm just a regular guy. You feel me? Real talk. I'm one of y'all. So you coming up here watching and think you got to take everything I say for fact, don't do that. What I encourage is to think for you. Think for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Even if you wrong sometimes, that will lead you to being right. That's okay. Being wrong will lead you to being right. And then on top of that, you don't got to be right. Because who's to say what's right? Some things is right, some things is wrong, but a lot of stuff is subjective, man. You feel me? I'm just like you. We all humans, all got our own perspective, all got our own way. All got our own lives. Let's start January 1st. Let's start with being real, being honest. And let's get gritty. Let's get gritty. You feel what I'm saying? That's what 2026 needs. We need that. It's got to get gritty out this motherfucker, bro. I'm telling you. But Real quick, because I'm gonna get off soon, but there's a couple of things I want to go over before we get off. We haven't talked about this lawsuit yet, because this lawsuit is important too, man. I'm on my Immortal Technique. Yeah, Immortal Technique was the one. Immortal Technique is the one. We got to stop being so nice. Yeah. And we just got to realize, bro, like, I'm going to say this one more time. We just got to realize, man. I did get sidetracked. The constructs that we live in are intentional. The constructs that we reside in are intentional. It is no longer, the constructs do not matter more than class does now. That's the truth. Now the problem is, well, not the problem, but the thing is, we are the voice. Some of us been here before everybody else was here. The people that didn't have much and boom, boom. A lot of people are that the other world that's not used to that, they starting to experience that. This is a class thing. And when we understand that, we stop all the random, you know what I'm saying, bickering about who said this and who said no. Let's really, you feel me? Let's call it what it is. There's no universe where Adin Ross should be able to openly call G Malone that, because people don't understand the ramifications of something like that. You feel what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they're gonna call all of us that. When it comes to, you know, we know what. Come on, man. Y'all niggas know what's going on, man. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing, man. Stop playing, please. Please stop playing like y'all don't understand what's going on out here, bro. Like, cut it out. All right. Let's look at this. Let's look at this lawsuit, though, right? Now, I want to state early, I am not no law major or nothing like that. Once again, the same way you would be on Twitter or Instagram or whatever looking at this, that's me. All we gonna do is read and see what's up with it. You feel what I'm saying? What I can't understand is what I can't understand. So it says, the last gambling lawsuit of 2025 is a doozy. A federal RICO class action versus state and rapper Drake for promoting an illegal online gambling site under the guise of a fake sweepstakes. Drake is accused of using a platform to artificially inflate play counts of his music. And this is ironic because you start to think, okay, Doechii song came out yesterday. I'm not saying this is intentional, but it's just ironic. Doechii song just came out, and now all of a sudden, we find out the people that are claiming that Doechii is botting have actually participated in a collaboration with State to bot. Yo. And it's crazy because a lot of us have been saying that before all this stuff came out. But of course, when you say it early, you get killed. And then when it actually comes true, nobody come back and say, hey, my bad. Like, that's just life. But how many of us were saying we know that Drake was buying this stuff? What's it called? It says this consumer class action seeks to stop State, an illegal online gambling platform promoted by Drake, Ross, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the guy that be running the working with academics on that page, if I'm not mistaken, and used by Drake, Ross to obscure transmissions of money in furtherance of their ongoing music botting campaigns, from continuing to prey upon consumers and to impose civil penalties on all defendants to deter future misconduct. Drake, Ross, and Nguyen have also made use of State to directly transfer money between and among themselves using State's tipping program. An unlimited and wholly unregulated money transmitter that appears to exist outside of the oversight of any financial regulator. Sheesh. Oh my goodness. So they was running a whole operation of bots through Stake. That's pretty much what this is saying. Which makes sense why they was promoting Stake so much. At the heart of the scheme, Drake, acting directly and through willing and knowledgeable co-conspirators, has deployed automated bots and streaming farms to artificially inflate play counts of his music across major platforms such as Spotify. Now, I'm going to say this, y'all. look, let me say this. I was thinking like maybe it's just a coincidence, but bro, when I post my videos about Drake on TikTok, right? Or even when I tweet certain stuff, there is always the same accounts, bro. It's the same exact accounts. Now, that doesn't mean that they're bots, but I will say the way these pages respond to my Drake content versus any other thing I talk about, dog. There are bots not only in music, but bots being spewed out to content creators too. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. I be looking at my page, bro. The way they be right on it immediately. I'm just like, bro, where are y'all at with these other? How are y'all getting on this so quickly? 5 Drake comments immediately? God damn. You feel me? The Zionists, Christian nationalists, and oligarchs trying to limit black folks' access to capital, silence our speech, and criminalize our culture. Woo! Not a lie told, man. And it's complicated. They even like, it's complicated, bro. And we got to see through it. Like, it's easy to get caught up in it too. Like, you gotta really be on guard. You gotta really be on guard. It's yeah, the Drake bots are aggressive, extremely aggressive. It's wild. But yeah, he's not only. Jalopy, ever noticed the racist bots every popular TikToker has in their lives? Experience is coming from in-house. Huh. Interesting. That's interesting. So then we get into at the heart of the scheme. Oh, it says these inauthentic streams injected via interstate digital pathways were calibrated to mislead royalty and recommendation engines. Oh, manufacture popularity, distort playlists and charts, and divert both value and audience attention. Essentially, like I've been saying, and I could be going overboard, but I don't think so. I don't think Drake has ever actually been a bigger artist than Kendrick Lamar. I stand on that. I don't know if Drake's ever actually been a bigger artist than Kendrick Lamar. Now, more people have probably heard Drake's music outside and stuff like that. Maybe. But bigger than Kendrick Lamar? I don't think so. I don't know about that. I think a lot of it might have to do with these goddamn bots. And looking at it like, bro, think about it. Manufacture popularity. So they're not only misleading the royalty, right? But it's also distorting the charts. So, and both divert both value and audience attention. So that don't even look like, so somebody might say, well, Drake was just, he was popping though, that's why. But it's like, no, this is completely different. This isn't somebody being authentic coming into the game and then naturally changing things. That's not, this is artificial. This was artificial. You feel what I'm saying? This is artificial. In tandem, this manipulation that suppressed authentic artists and narrow consumers' access to legitimate content by undermining the integrity of curated experiences. So essentially, they created a scheme to really, it sounds like they create, and I could be wrong. Somebody out there correct me, man. It could, if I'm wrong, it could be a scheme to essentially, right, make sure that most of the royalties, most of the traffic and whatever is going to these artists. That's essentially what it's saying. And don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure there's bots in you can find bots in all songs, right? But because there's playlists that are created that are bot playlists, right? But Drake was intentionally manufacturing this to be this way. One example of a publicly documented large value tip is 100,000 tipping transfer between defendants Drake and Ross in 2023. Days before the filing of this complaint, defendant Drake gave defendant Ross a 220,000 cards a gift. I'll be wondering, a lot of these gifts be public. What do y'all don't think that's just like, Apple bought a lot of those. That was right at the beginning of the exclusive Apple deal. I said, I always thought I always thought Drake is weird. I always thought it was weird Drake passed Kanye's streams when literally every person I know can name 5 Kanye songs. Can't say the same about Drake. One of these days, niggas gonna be honest about, man, Drake, bro, listen. One of these days, niggas gonna be real about, you feel what I'm saying? Like, the fact that I genuinely, the way it was, man, Drake's perception of how big he was as an artist was not authentic, bro. Of course, I'm not gonna sit here and say Drake wasn't a popular artist. No one's saying that. But a lot of the levels, I think after a certain time, got real manufactured. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think really that's really what it comes down to. The game is bought. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like this 100,000, these cars being bought, and then these be the guys doing big favors and spreading propaganda for them. I was on the Drake wave, and it still don't make sense. That's what I'm saying. I was a Drake fan. I was rocking with Young Money when I was younger. Young Money, until really, honestly, bro, until Drake got exposed for having ghostwriters, I was still listening to Young Money. Drake getting for the ghostwriter, I was like, I was looking at him weird, but I wasn't looking at like Wayne crazy, not really looking at Nicki Minaj super crazy. But in general, though, yeah. I like Drake's music, but it never felt, it felt like it never really, every time you talk to people about Drake, it's never like this in-depth conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say, my friends like Drake too. I got friends who still like Drake, it's friends who still listen to Drake, still rock with Drake, want to argue and debate with me when we in real life. You feel what I'm saying? But in reality, if we're being real, all the time when I hear people talk about Drake, even the people I knew then, even the way we talked about Drake, it was never really beyond surface level. Nothing was the same was my thing. You feel what I'm saying? But it was never beyond surface level. Like, it felt like, it's damn near every time you talk to somebody, it's like the song come on and people be chilling. But like every time it's time to really have a conversation about it, there's not much said. You feel me? And I always thought that was in because of the music itself. But we're not gonna sit here and act like Drake didn't have like music out there that was vulnerable. Drake was a vulnerable artist. But when you find out that it's like, oh, he's not writing the music, and on top of that, it's like, I don't know about that. And then you start hearing about Safari. You know what I'm saying? And Nicki Minaj. And then, you hear about the fact that Gilly the Kid had that whole time where people were saying he was writing for Wayne. You know what I mean? And Wayne was rapping like, there was a point like 06, 07, maybe like 05 to like 08. Wayne was definitely rapping like them Philly niggas. And I always thought that was just because he was influenced. But who knows? I'm not going to sit there and say that that Gilly wrote for Wayne or that this for sure. But if we being real, come on. I ain't gonna lie. Standardemics, come on, man. Come on, bro. Don't feed into the narrative, please. Don't feed into that narrative, bro. I'm like, don't feed into that narrative. Niggas be saying I look like Loaded Lux. People saying I look like Noor. We gotta, no, man. We can't feed into that. We can't feed into that. We can't keep feeding into that, bro. We gotta stop it. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, see, I shouldn't even say nothing, bro. I shouldn't even say nothing. Bro, it's not even just y'all, bro. I did that interview with actually, I don't know if y'all seen that, but Pharaoh Monk is crazy. I haven't heard that name in a minute. Oh man. But what's it called? Forgot what I was gonna say. Let's get back to this. So one example of a publicly we've seen that already. These tips and many others like them cycled among the finished Drake, Ross, and Nguyen underwriting, botting, and paid engagement campaigns. Oh man. Stakes platform design, which masks counterparties and camouflages withdrawals and generic transactions, stemmy scrutiny and obstruct tracing of illicit proceeds. Look, man, this is my thing, bro. This will be pissing me off, bro. This will be pissing me off, y'all. I gotta be honest. You say stuff like this early, right? I remember, for all my people that was in here, I know y'all remember when we was talking about what's it called? We was talking about academics TV page, Lyrical, all these different things being paid propaganda pages. Paid propaganda pages. And everybody's, oh, you too deep into it, you a stan, all this different stuff. Even from the Kendrick community, from the hip-hop community in general, I'm getting flack. People who saying this stuff are getting flack too. Right? But then when this stuff come out, you don't get, nobody comes back and is like, okay, you wasn't a stan, you wasn't overthinking it, you wasn't super over theorizing. This is what's happening. Like, you feel me? We've been saying exactly. We've been saying this stuff, but instead of people being like, they just call us whatever they want. They just call us whatever in the book. They just call us whatever in the book. We spreading hate. We spreading negative content. All this different stuff. It's like, nigga, damn. They work every day. They work to slander these guys every day. And I'm not saying I'm going to be doing that this year, but damn, last year, it wasn't justified. Every day it was a new narrative that people had to correct. And yes, it didn't seem, it felt like, yes, oh, people saying anything. But when you see stuff like this, we would, like, come on. And you're right. Hey, Charles Withers, that's the one thing I learned, bro. That's the one thing I learned. It is life. It is life. People going to say whatever they want to say. And honestly, I don't got no room to talk. I do the same thing. I've done the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? I've done I've done the J. Cole videos and all that different stuff. So that's one thing I really had to understand. Like, bro, with all the hate that I got last year, it was like, whatever, man. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is, I mean, really, honestly, you get hate no matter what. You could have been on here I could have been on here only talking about God, and I still would have got hate. So honestly, I damn near take all that back. But I will say, in general, though, like, ultimately, if you don't understand that that's how it's going to be hard to really fight back and say these things against these narratives. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it is. Like, that's what it comes down to. I don't think you've said something because you were being paid to say it. Exactly. There ain't nothing on my YouTube that you can find that somebody paid for. Nobody, nothing. There's nothing on my YouTube you can find that somebody paid for at all. At all. At all. Nothing on my YouTube you can find that somebody paid me to say. You feel what I'm saying? And ultimately, it's like, bro, you're not going to get, people not going to be like, hey, we shouldn't have been extra about that. And that is life. Bro was saying the thing, like, you got to really just do you because you doing you. Because if you get caught up in people's perception and people's perspective, you can mess around and get wrapped up in their perception. And it's like, nah, it's really, no, bro. It's really not. Like, it's not like that. You feel what I'm saying? It's so much more to these conversations. You feel me? So really, yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, ultimately, these guys over here, these guys are botting. They're paying pages to push propaganda. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're doing a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of stuff that we said they were going to do, they're doing it. A lot of the stuff that we said we got to look out for, that's what it is. We don't have to fight the narratives. The music will speak for itself. I feel you on that. I do think that there's a different way to fight the narratives. Yeah, I do think we do need to fight the narratives, though. I just think that there's a different way to do it. I don't gotta, directly react to something that Adin Ross said or something like that. we don't really got to directly react to that on video. You know, the stuff like that can be for stream, boom, boom. But when it's time to upload the videos, real conversations that have us take a deeper look at what is going on, and really just other stuff too, will allow us to understand, have a better sense of what's happening. And he said, nah, we got to start putting belt to ass. Look, that's what I'm saying. I think that this is the attitude era. You feel what I'm saying? This is the attitude era. So, and that's how I feel. I feel like there doesn't necessarily need to be a fight for the narratives, but we can. And since we can, we should sometimes. Now, maybe it doesn't need to be done. It doesn't need to be done as a lot. You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm not gonna upload as many videos this year as I did last year. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, you still gonna get a lot of videos. But at the end of the day, it's like there is another approach, a different approach, and I want to create more real conversations like the one we had with the that Jay-Z video. You know what I mean? Right, Shy, you right. That's what I'm saying. Because if those, you don't want the neutral person to start thinking, oh, wait. You know what I mean? This is the thing. I'm not trying to, sometimes it's the neutral person that needs to understand certain shit. You know what I'm saying? He said you should never stop speaking truth to power. Absolutely. 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 I think that's what it's going to take. And all of our favorites do it. I got to finish the Jay-Z video. Yeah, tap in, watch it. I think that's one of my favorite videos that I've made because it's real, it's honest, and it's we breaking down just how the connection between a lot of things and how that kind of proves that some of this stuff was, you know what I mean? Some of this stuff was manufactured, you know? So yeah. But yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Drake and all these guys. It ain't been looking good forever. I think they're doing a good job of making it seem like they're good to their audience, like as far as the streamers and all that. But in reality, I mean, damn. Yeah. It's not looking great. It's not looking great, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna be going live way more often because I will be dropping less videos, so I'm gonna be going live more often. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even their own audience is starting to see it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think it's the same thing with the Republican administration. That's one thing that people don't know is that a lot of people are not okay with what's going on. Democratic, liberal, conservative, whatever. It's like a portion of conservatives that's still riding with Trump. You feel what I'm saying? I think what we got to recognize right now is we in a rare time where everybody is thinking the same thing. And then we wonder why there's all these different construct wars going on too. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's thinking the same thing right now, bro. Real talk. And you only know that if you're talking to multiple people, if you know people who have different views than you, if you know people that got the same views as you, all that. You only know that if you open to it. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the thing. If you're not open to it, then you won't even know. You wouldn't even know that. You feel me? People hating on people, Drake's own fan base crushing him sometimes after that Iceman stream thing, right? Donald Trump losing crazy support. Donald Trump has lost wild support. Adin Ross, stuff like that. Jalopy, going live should allow you to drop more videos. Try to adopt Curtis King's method where you put concise breaks in the lives so you can chop the videos either. You know, yeah, that's something a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? You see, I see a lot too. I've thought about doing that too. Because you can, yeah, essentially you can just clip up the long form and make it a video too. But I'll do that on sometimes, you know what I mean? I really want to do replace that with some other stuff that I got coming, But I do think that, yeah, that's a great method. It's a great method, honestly, because then you damn near it's time conservative. It's a lot of different stuff. You know what I mean? I'm realizing like the way I was doing it is really, yeah. He said Jalopy already does that. Yeah, I already do that from YouTube to TikTok, but I haven't tried it with lives. You know what I mean? Like I haven't tried it with lives, but that's a great method. It is. And I think that I'm gonna start doing some stuff. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna start doing some of that too. He said, make your edits easy so you can do more. You know, yeah, because I was with the Jay-Z video, I was in there like, I was in there like really, I was in there like really doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I was deleting stuff from edits and all the different stuff. But really, yeah, it can just be simplified. I think just like the type of content I do already, but just with visuals, and then just sharper conversations too. Just more learning. You know, just taking the time to learn more on my own time, and then applying that, and then putting it in the content, even if it's, you know, comparison with hip hop, comparison with history, all that different stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing that too, just because I could easily clip up some of this live. You know what I mean? I could easily clip up this live into sections. But yeah. Because if you can get most of your thoughts off on a live, you can just clip up your stuff up, and you do the other types of videos you want to do. Yeah. He said, "Yo, dude, keep talking trash." I mean, it's life, man. People gonna talk. That's life. Everybody gonna talk. That's life, man. Like, that's life. Really, I mean, let's be honest about that real quick. Let's be honest. In reality, if we remove all the extra stuff, all of this, we're still all in the human experience. That means people are allowed to have whatever perspective on you that they want to have. Like, it don't make it true. You know what I mean? But that's their perspective. And it's like, if they decide to get on there and keep, I mean, if anything, it's confirmation for me. That's how I feel. It's confirmation. You know what I mean? I think that nobody was talking about me until, you know what I mean? Nobody was talking down on me until it started working. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's people are allowed to have a perspective on me. People are allowed to view me the way that they want to view me. The important part for me is to recognize that that doesn't mean anything. That's the part for I got to realize. No matter what, no matter who does it, whether I respected them, whether I didn't respect them, whatever, it doesn't matter who it is, right? If it ain't God directly, I choose what feedback I take in and what feedback I don't take in. And people are allowed to say and do whatever they want. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at nobody. I'm not mad at nobody. They can have their thing. You feel me? And then I'm not mad at nobody. Keep doing it. You know what I mean? Keep doing it. Keep doing it. That's the part that you got to accept if you're gonna put yourself out there. You know what I mean? You got to accept that. You know, you got to accept that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm accepting these things. All of the slander that's gonna come my way is gonna come my way. You can't escape that. It's gonna come your way. So all the slander that come my way from content, from music, from whatever, I know, hit pieces, whatever it is, it's life. If you think that you're gonna go through this life, nobody criticizing you, nobody seeing something and thinking you did wrong, you delusional. You're delusional. You feel what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you never know how you are, who you are, can be making other people feel. You can make other people feel small. I'm not saying I'm making anybody feel small, but you can make people feel small. You can make people worried just by doing you feel what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I came into this YouTube thing just doing my content. You feel what I'm saying? Doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? People, you know, want to talk, want to do collabs and boom, boom. And that's dope too.
You know what I mean? I know the people I like to rock with. I know the people that, you know, it's whatever. It's life. Outside of that, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. All bro is doing is just, or all people doing in general, because not just him, it's a lot of other people that drop videos on me too. The reality is, all people are doing is just looking at you and making their own perspective. It's something we all do. I got J. Cole videos. It ain't different just because I don't do it to other content creators, right? But I got videos on J. Cole. I got videos on Drake where I'm giving my assessment, my opinion on things that J. Cole has done. That's life. That's life. And that's why 2026, yeah, you're gonna have to look, it's gonna be way more this year. I'm telling y'all. The type of time, look, this the attitude era. If it ain't the attitude era of the world, it's attitude era to this channel and anything associated with me. I'm telling you. So it's gonna be a lot more hate from a lot of different groups, and that's the dope part. Is that the slander from? Look, this is my thing. There was a point in time where I was making content on everything that was going on with the Epstein and all that different stuff, and I was getting attacked from both political parties. That's how I knew I was being honest. That's how I knew I was keeping it real. Because it was either sometimes you had this side saying, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Sometimes you had this side saying, I see what you're saying. But then both of them will be packing me up in the comments. And that's how I knew I'm being honest. I'm being completely honest. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not saying people who lean one way more than the other or are aligned with one side completely are not being honest. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, for my authentic perspective and my authentic opinion, it's confirmation that if both sides who want to take hold of my message, both sides who want to control my message and want to control my perspective and want to control my views, if they both mad, I'm doing it right. And that's just me. You don't got to think the same way. That's just me. If I know I got both political parties upset and both political parties at time agreeing with what I'm saying, that means I'm giving you an authentic opinion that is not aligned with me just saying I'm tied to a political party or I'm tied to this artist or I'm tied to whatever. Now, there's other times where I'm dead biased. Kendrick Lamar versus Drake, I know what side I'm on. But some things are way more nuanced to that. And sometimes it's like, you feel me? People don't want to have those conversations. So we keep having these weird systems where the conversations become limited. Just keep telling the truth, even when it's not beneficial. I got you. That's what 2026 I'm dedicated to doing. I'm dedicated to doing. Regardless, the slander, the backlash, I'm telling the truth. You feel me? And it's going to be hate from both sides of any situation. But really, it's really, you know what I mean? It's really all that. There's really that simple. But I'm finna get off in a second. We'll stop at the 3-hour mark. He said your secret fan, boom, boom. I mean, hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is, brother. It is what it is. It's some people who can't tell what political side I lean on. I got people that think, oh, you definitely a leftist. You seem like a socialist. And some people who think, oh, you might be a conservative. That got nothing to do with me. That got everything to do with you. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't see me publicly supporting, or you don't see me saying like, oh, like this side is right, then it's all assumptions. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You can assume all you want. That's how I know I'm in the right bag. I know I'm in the right bag. If you having a hard time tying me down, I know I'm in my bag. Because that means I'm showing all of me. You know what I mean? Some of us are just neutral and calling everything out. Yeah, some people think like if you not on, I mean, it's really, think about it. It's just like this. If you sitting in between two people you know and they arguing, sometimes they're going to want you to take their side completely. If you say, hey, look, this is how it is. This is my perspective. I don't agree. I don't fully agree with either of y'all, but this is how I see it. They both going to be mad because they want you to be on their side. But what's more important? You feel what I'm saying? Being true to what you understand and what you feel at this current time of life, or the other shit? That's what, you know what I mean? That's what we got to ask ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? And I never said I was the super credible guy that had the college degree and all that. I never said I was that guy, because I'm not that guy. I learned through life. So, you know what I mean? I just get on here and say what I got to say. That's it. Don't take the fact that people love what I do, you know what I'm saying, that y'all love what I do and that we connecting and we having real and all that. Don't take that and say that, oh, you know what I'm saying, like doing this wrong or doing that wrong. No, I'm just a human being getting on here conversating with people I love to conversate with. Like, that's what it is. I love talking to y'all about all this stuff because we've really built a community where y'all willing to talk about all the stuff. Even when y'all disagree with me, y'all still willing to talk about the stuff. So that's what we created here. You know what I mean? I'm hoping for next year, for this year, to really establish that even more. Even more. It's gonna be, and look, I'm gonna tell y'all early, I'm gonna have people coming on. I'm gonna have people working with me. I'm gonna have all of that. And they all don't think the same things that I do. They all think differently from me. But one thing I do know is even when, you know what I'm saying, even when you know, we got to have more understanding of people in general. I think that goes for me too. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a better understanding of what's really important. And I think authenticity, no matter what you are, what you do, authenticity to who you are is important. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why, like, I don't look at them dudes and be like, I'm right. I look at them dudes and be like, I believe what I believe in. They believe what they believe in. I'm going to fight for mine. And I'm going to try to win. I can't tell you I can't really factually tell you these things that are right or wrong. I know what principles I have. You know what I mean? That's my whole thing. I don't think I'm on here doing God's work and stuff like that. I think when I'm sharing the gospel, I am, you know what I mean? Sharing the gospel through my favorite artists or through these pop culture situations. I think that's when I'm doing God's work. But outside of that, I'm out here just being a human being, bro. You know what I mean? So just remember that. Just remember that. You feel what I'm saying? And it remind me of Mortal Man on Kendrick Lamar. It remind me of Mortal Man, where that message is powerful because he's really saying, yo, regardless of what is going on here, boom, 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 y'all been listening to my music. Y'all been rocking with me. Y'all been know what's up with me. You know what I mean? So when get real, who are you gonna be? And that's really like that's life, like with your family, with your friends, with your all that. You know what I mean? Sharing truth is ministry. That's okay. I see what you're saying. That's real. That's real. And spiritual downloads come in many ways. Yeah, man. I think a lot of the things I could talk about can be confusing for people who don't be on here too sometimes, because it could be, you know what I mean? I be seeing it. People be calling me weird because I connect hip hop with the gospel, or we talk about anime or astrology and all this different stuff. And it's like, man, you're supposed to call me weird, man. Like, you're supposed to call me weird. You're supposed to. That's what it's supposed to. That's your job. Like, I'm different than what you're accustomed to. So what else are you supposed to call me? You know what I mean? But I would rather be that than be I would rather be that. I'd rather be the weird guy. I'd rather be the guy that loves anime and loves being a child and loves wearing Nickelodeon and still doing my due diligence, still taking care of my responsibilities, still taking care of my family at the same time. Still having fun, still going out and doing, yeah. Both of them. All 5 of them. I'm all 5 of them. You feel me? All of them. You know what I mean? Straight like that, man. That's what it is. But yeah, attitude era. That's what we on. 2026. Let's get busy. You know what I mean? Let's talk about what we really should be talking about. I think there's a lot of things we talking about, but let's no sugarcoating, no politically correctness, none of that. All that is out the window on this channel. I'm telling you. You feel me? So be prepared to potentially be like, what the fuck? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what is he talking about? Like, that's okay though. That's okay though. We do not have to agree on everything. We don't. We don't got to agree on everything. You feel what I'm saying? But hey, I love y'all, man. I appreciate this conversation with y'all. I really want to build stronger community. So I've been working on, I got my Discord going, but it was so much going on at the end of last year, just getting stuff right. I'm about to really start putting the ideas together. I've been writing down ideas and stuff just to make the Discord fun and have a great time. So yeah, if y'all want to come to the Discord, I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. And yeah, bro, I want to just build stronger community. I need to get some mods. I want to have 6 mods in there. I want to have 6 mods in the Discord. So if you're interested, pull up. I got some people I already have. I know I want Legal Love is one. If Intertone is in here, I would like her to be one. It's a few of y'all, McConan, the real ones. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be. And if you're able to be active in there, you feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, let me post the Discord in the chat. I'm raising my hand. All right, Rita, get in there. I'm about to put it in here right now. Yeah, this year I just want to be in general just more just professional. You know what I mean? Like last year, it was like, you know, still trying to learn the responsibility and professionalism in this in general. So, you know, just making sure when y'all buy shirts, getting to you on time all year, dedicated, declaring that. That's a promise. Every time we get the shirts out, promising to get the shirts on time. I'm not gonna say promise to this, but I will say doing my absolute best. When I say videos dropping at 9 a.m., it's dropping at 9 a.m., not 9:15, not 9:20, not 9:30. You know what I'm saying? What else? Quality over quantity. Thought out content constantly. I know it was like a mix last year, just quick commentary and then some deep thought stuff. This year, I want to go really 99% quality. There's going to be some videos I got to get on here and just talk my shit for sure. But mostly, we will focus on quality. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then, you know, got the personal life stuff. We're cutting weed out. You know what I mean? For anybody that want to join me, I'm going to March. And then and really thinking after March is going the whole year. So y'all want to join me on that. Working out consistently. Just doing hobbies, picking up hobbies. This is the main reason I got the guitar. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to like do something that's fun, giving the skill, reading more, all that different stuff. Just elevating. Like by the time we get to April, I don't even want y'all to recognize me fully by the time we get to April. I want to be glowing so much. You know, I feel like I'm glowing. I'll be glowing already, but just in general, I want to be glowing so much in such an entirely different headspace that everything is damn near unrecognizable. You feel what I'm saying? Just that type of level up. So for whoever want the challenge, I'm challenging you too to do the same. Whatever that means to you. That could be anything. You know what I mean? And then just hanging out with my friends a lot more, getting outside more, you know what I'm saying? Just not declining hangouts all the time. Just, you know what I mean? Just really getting back outside consistently, being around the homies, you know what I mean? Having a good time. So, but all right, y'all. I'm going to be streaming a lot more. Probably going to stream tomorrow, depending on what's going on. But I'm going to see y'all, man. Y'all have a good day. The Discord is in there if y'all ain't see it. The Discord link is in there. Scroll up if you got to, all right? I'm going to catch y'all. Happy New Year. Hey, go after it. Whatever it is that you want, go after it. Have a good time. Have fun this year. Be with your family. And, yeah, just be you. All right? I'm going to catch y'all, man.